working through a new quarterback, kind of working him into the system. There's a lot of new guys on both sides. North Star is now transitioning from a system where they played 2 quarterbacks often to now just 1 quarterback kind of really manning the offense. There's a lot of growing pains that take place in week 1, so it might get a little hairy at times, but hopefully we don't see 11 punts in this one.
No, I think the both teams have worked on their offense, and they play exclusively with each other in 7-on-7 and have done a really good job of developing the young players. So I don't think it's going to be a lot of punts. Neither coach wants to be in a defensive battle when you have 2 star-studded players like Chapman and Robinson on the other side for Lincoln Southwest Silverhawks.
Let's talk about the Silverhawks here for Lincoln Southwest. In year 3 of head coach Grant Tranowitz, and a little bit of more of the same last season as it was in year 1 for Coach Tranowitz. They went 3-6 overall in 2023, and they repeated that very same record last season in 2024. And this year, in 2025, they are replacing a plethora of notable players and notable playmakers, including especially at the wide receiver position. Their top 4 wide receivers from 2024 are long gone, and they're going to be kind of ushering in a new batch of playmakers, of skill position guys. And Luke Mitchell's kind of the guy to watch here in 2025. Last year, he had 9 catches, 79 yards, not a whole lot of volume. But when you're replacing your top 4 guys, you're looking for some of those new guys to step up here this season.
Yeah, Luke Mitchell last year was in a kind of reserve role, but now he's in the forefront, and he's going to play a multitude of positions, Nick. He's going to play a little bit out there on the X. He's going to play in the slot, and he's going to run the ball, from the conventional run game. So the offense is going to be centered around Mitchell, Mr. Mitchell. It'll be interesting to see what he does against that tough, pesky, physical Gator defense.
Yeah, when you look in the backfield also, and Lincoln Southwest ushering in a new quarterback in Thatcher Shelton. I shouldn't say new. He was on the roster last year, only played in 3 games. His season statistics last year, and Thatcher Shelton, 2 for 3 for 7 yards through the air, had 1 INT. He carried the rock 4 times for 11 yards, did have a touchdown on the ground. Not a lot of volume for Thatcher Shelton. In the ground game, though, they're going to lean on 2 guys here in 2025. In Curtis, who had 46 carries, 167 yards, and 3 scores last year, and Hartwig, who carried the rock 38 times in 2024 for a little over 130 yards. Just once again, this ushering in a new wave of playmakers and guys you need to step up. In Grant Tranowitz, a very important 3rd year.
Yeah, with Tranowitz and trying to establish the identity, and I think that was a little bit off last year, Nick. And you mentioned Noah Curtis. Noah Curtis is a physical downhill runner. We saw he had a crucial fumble last year. I actually used to coach Noah. He said he's going to make up for it tonight. Look for him to score early.
Yeah, Noah Curtis, 6 foot, 190-pound senior. Then the tandem running back there with Barrett Hartwig, 5'10", 195-pound bruising junior. Those 2 guys will be in the backfield for Lincoln Southwest. For the home team on the scoreboard tonight, the Lincoln North Star Gators, it's been improvement year after year since James Thompson took over in 2022. They were 4-5 that first year, 5-5 the year following, and last year 6-4. They've improved in the win column year after year, and James Thompson has this thing trending in the right direction, hopefully to take a step forward this year.
Much like all the North Star Gators athletic programs, both boys and girls, they would continue to develop and uplift their players and obviously their programs, and the football team is just like all the other teams. But they've done it through hard work, recruiting players to recruit them early in the youth football and get them to come to North Star, and they've all stuck together. So it must be something that he's doing well from the top to the bottom.
We got a lot more to get to, especially with the North Star Gators. We're going to do that on the other side of the national anthem here. Let's step aside, come back with kickoff here in week 1 ahead of the Lincoln North Star Gators against the Lincoln Southwest Silverhawks right here from Seacrest Field on 93.7 The Ticket.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane University, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our long history of innovative learning, It's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes us different. Now is your time. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Seacrest Field, just moments ahead of kickoff here in week 1 of the season. 2025 season on tap. Lincoln Southwest just ran out onto the field. Lincoln North Star about to make their way through their inflatable tunnel walk down here on the north end zone of the field as well. Ahead of Lincoln North Star and Lincoln Southwest. Nick Sainert, Jay Foreman, Austin Norman back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios pushing all the buttons. We were talking before the break there about Lincoln North Star and head coach James Thompson, who's entering year 4 for him. A little bit of a different look offensively here in year 4. We've seen them kind of lean towards 2 quarterbacks, especially in 2024, Jay, where they had not only Tyrell Chapman, who we're going to see tonight, but they also had a guy by the name of Bo Ball at under center last year. Ball now graduated. This is firmly Tyrell Chapman's offense.
Yeah, and I think Tyrell Chapman did a really good job of playing a certain role at the quarterback position because he's such a great playmaker. On both sides of the ball, and particularly when he has the ball in his hands. But now I think after he committed to Iowa State, I think he really focused on having the best senior year possible, went to a couple quarterback camps, and so look for him to play the conventional quarterback position a little bit better than he did last year.
Yeah, Tyrell Chapman did not have a high completion percentage last year, just under 50% completion percentage, but he can make some hay with his legs. Had 6 rushing touchdowns in this Lincoln North Star offense last year.
Yeah, Tyrell is a great athlete. He went to state track, will be 4 years in a row. He's a really good basketball player and obviously a well-established football player. And I think the best thing that he does is when he has the ball in his hands and he has to improvise, he can really, get out there on the edges and take one to the house.
Lincoln North Star, and moving on from another guy in the backfield, and Jordan Anderson, they will lean heavily on number 33, a senior running back, J.C. Sievers. Sievers last year had 45 carries for just shy of 200 yards rushing, only found Pater 1 time last season, so we'll see what he can do here in North Star's offense tonight. We are just moments away from kickoff. Lincoln Southwest will be in their silver Silverhawk helmets with the white jerseys, green letters and numbers, white pants as well, while Lincoln North Star with the charcoal gray uniforms, navy blue helmets with the North Star N on each side of the helmet, their numbers and letters painted with navy blue colors. Here at Seacrest Field. It's a beautiful night for football. Temperature at kickoff, 79 degrees. You could not ask for a better night. And Jay, you and I were kind of talking about this a little bit ago. We're used to this game being sweltering hot. Yeah. And we have to think about cramps, and we have to think about conditioning for some of these guys on the field. We'll see if that's the case tonight.
Yeah, these young players lucked out tonight where they're able to go get their pump on and do a couple arm curls because the last few years it was either wide receivers jumping off sides or it was a cramp session. So it's a great night for football, and also, Nick, a great atmosphere as always at Seacrest.
Ethan Sanchez will be responsible for kickoff duties for Lincoln Southwest as they boot it towards the north end zone in the 2025 high school season is underway here at Seacrest Field. It's going to be caught in the end zone, down for a touchback by Lincoln North Star, and it is time to see Tyrell Chapman and the Lincoln North Star Gator offense as they will make their way out to their own 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Gator offense, led by head coach James Thompson in his 4th season.
Nick, one thing that stands out for North Star versus this year versus last year, really, really young on the offensive line, so then you see him a little bit smaller. But one guy we didn't talk about much is number 1, Kobe Allen. He's a wide receiver DB. Him and Tyrell have a connection that goes all the way back to 4th grade. When they try to go deep, look for him to get the ball to Kobe Allen. Yeah,
Lincoln North Star with a couple of playmakers on the perimeter, and Kobe Allen, as Jay said, also Michael Hunter Jr., North Star lost 3 of their top 4 wide receivers from last season. Michael Hunter Jr., 33 catches, 239 yards, and a score in 2024.
Yeah, Mikey the Great is something special once he gets the ball in his hand. And I think they're going to do a really good job of trying to scheme him open against this bigger but slower Southwest Silverhawk defense.
Running back to each side, looking downfield, taking a shot on play number 1, intended for Wellstead. Is going to be hauled inside the Southwest 40-yard line, and just right off the bat, Lincoln North Star able to get a big play downfield across midfield, and it'll be a quick 1st and 10 at the Silverhawks 35-yard line. One play, one big play for the Gators offense.
Eli Schaefer, the younger brother of Will Schaefer, both of them are really good basketball players, but Eli is a really good quarterback. They brought Tyrell Chapman in motion as a decoy. The whole defense shifted towards Tyrell, which allowed them to hit the big bomb. And that's how you get the party started, Nick, right here at Seacrest. I think we saw that last year as well. It was a great pass and great catch.
And it looks like they're going to continue to turn here early on to Eli Schaefer at quarterback. Tyrell Chapman was warming up with the ones in pregame. Here's the pass from Schaefer out to the left side on the hash marks. It's hauled in for a nice gain, but now Southwest sideline is claiming that there's a fumble on the play, but the far sideline official claims that the wide receiver was down first on the turf. It'll stay Gators football, and a nice play on 1st down, a gain of 6.
Yeah, you're seeing right now what the theme is, right, with Eli Schaefer. He's trying to go to his partner in crime in Wellstead, go deep, and then they run a little bit of a jailbreak screen there. Good job by Southwest rallying to the ball and trying to get a really quick turnover to turn the tide.
That was Louis Wellstead, the senior wide receiver, on the reception. He's now has 2 catches on the first 2 plays of the ball game. 2nd down and 4 from the Silverhawks 29-yard line. Lincoln North Star 2 plays, and they are in business inside the opponent's 30-yard line. Shotgun set. Tyrell Chapman is in shotgun formation. Severs was off to his right, but before the snap, we're going to have a penalty marker on the play. And this one, I would imagine, will be a delay of game on North Star. It will be. So now that will back it up 5 yards. 2nd down and 9 from now the 34-yard line.
Yeah, you see the momentum obviously started on North Star, but as we saw last night with the Huskers, the procedure penalties can kind of stymie your progress. It'll be interesting to see if they change the play call or go with what was called before.
3 wideouts bunched up to the right side. Chapman takes the shotgun snap. He'll roll a power off to the right side, keep it himself. Penalty marker on the play, but as Chapman gets inside the 30-yard line again, I'd imagine this is going to be a hold on the backside as there's a piece of yellow laundry, and it is going to be a hold on the Gators.
Right, Nick. And obviously in business, they talk about compound interest. You don't want to compound negative play upon negative play, and the Gators have done that in back-to-back plays. They had something going there, kind of like of an old Cam Newton power sweep, Green Bay or North Star Gator power sweep negated what looks to be a holding penalty. So now North Star has to put they got their back against the wall. So now they got to try to divide the next 2 downs that we always talk about, Nick, in half to try to get either the 1st down or get within realistic field goal range.
Oh, and now you look at what Lincoln North Star has done offensively. The first snap from their own 20, they strike a big one inside opponent territory, and then they were able to get a gain of 6 on 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line, and so stay ahead of schedule. But now, as you mentioned, 2 penalty flags on consecutive plays. Now they're pretty significantly behind schedule. It is going to be 2nd down and a mile from the 46-yard line.
Well, we're going to see a lot of this early in the first couple of weeks, Nick, because just like we see with the first week 0 and week 1 in college football, and obviously in the NFL preseason, they're just getting started to competition level. So you're going to see a little bit of uptick in penalties.
Shotgun snap. Chapman fakes the whole handoff to Severs. He's looking downfield, trying to get it to Louis Wellstead as it's going to be knocked away. Nice job in coverage by number 24 for Lincoln Southwest. That's Zach Teague, the 5'10 junior DB. He was able to outstretch that right arm just enough to deflect that ball from Chapman, intended for the senior wideout Wellstead.
Good job there by Zach Teague of not panicking, and that's something that a lot of defensive backs do when the ball is coming. They read the eyes, they look back for it, then they stop. Really good job of Mr. Teague there of finishing that play. Almost a touchdown there for Wellstead.
Now it's going to be 3rd down and 21. 10 minutes, 12 seconds just underway here in the opening quarter of action from Seacrest. Nick Sainert, Jay Foreman alongside week 1 of Lincoln North Star and Lincoln Southwest. 3rd down and 21. North Star's got to get to the 25-yard line of Southwest if they want to keep this drive alive. Shotgun snap. Looking left side, Chapman. Quick pass caught by Wellstead. He tries to reverse course and now gets laid out. And it's a nice hit there defensively by a trio of Silverhawks. And it's going to be 4th down from the Lincoln Southwest 37-yard line. And so it'll be about 4th down and 12 if my math doesn't deceive me.
Yeah, number 58 from the Southwest Silverhawks, Nathan Hill, came out of the stack, as like we like to say, and that's a defensive lineman that pass rushes and runs with his hair on fire to try to get a big hit on the receiver. Yeah, he did so, was trying to cause a fumble. That might be a theme for the Southwest Silverhawks to see if they can create some turnovers by being extremely physical.
So now 4th down and 12. James Thompson's going to keep the Gators offense on the field. They were able to kind of cut the yards to gain in half there on 3rd down. Now 4th and 12. Chapman looking, scrambling. He's going to evade pressure, still trying to run away from some Silverhawks, and he will tiptoe the boundary near the line of scrimmage, and he will be forced out of bounds. It's a turnover on downs. Lincoln Southwest, after giving up the big play on snap number 1, they're able to avoid any potential damage and more harm there, and they force a turnover on downs.
That's a big couple plays there for the Lincoln Southwest Silverhawks, right? It was backs against the wall, obviously get hit over top with the big play. They almost had a fumble on the second play, kept their nose to the grind, and they got out of there. Now the momentum is all the way over in the Silverhawks sideline. Let's see what they do offensively. Do they come out aggressive, or do they try to be really, really physical in the run game? Because as you see them come out here, Nick, that's a good-looking football team from as far as physically how they look coming out of the huddle from sideline.
9:16 to go in the opening quarter, 0-0 your score between North Star and Lincoln Southwest. As Southwest with the football for the first time here tonight, as it's going to be a quarterback keeper off the right side. The quarterback, that's Thatcher Shelton, the 6'2 sophomore, takes the snap, runs off to his right side, and gets leveled down the right side. And there's going to be a penalty marker on the play as well here on 1st down.
Yeah, Thatcher Shelton is a young sophomore. He just got taught a varsity lesson. Tried to run sideline to sideline against this extremely fast North Star Gator defense. Marcus Wynn came all the way from the other side of the field right when he tried to cut back Marcus Wynn. He almost knocked the wind out of him there. And on top of it, to make it worse, Nick, looked like you have a holding penalty. So I know Mr. Thatcher is probably wishing he would have got rid of that ball a little bit faster.
Yeah, so now it's going to back up the Silverhawks offense. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty, it looks like, as that'll now make it 1st and 25.
What's your play call here, Nick, on college football 25? What do you got? A little
Something
screen?
quick.
Something
quick. Get Thatcher Shelton in a rhythm here as he's in shotgun formation, 2 wideouts near side. He looks that way, now throws out into the flat. It's hauled in by the tight end, and a nice job in pursuit by the defender. And I believe that is number 6, Eli Solomon, the junior defensive back who was in on the stop for North Star. Scratch that, number 8, Isaac Rabago.
No, we're going to check that again. That was Tyrell Chapman coming up there as the corner, a 6'4 corner coming up and being able to be a knee bender and being very, very explosive. Yes, Nick, I am biased. I can't help it. He's one of my favorites of all time.
It'll be 3rd down and now 20 from the 22-yard line.
Well, right now, Southwest, you had the momentum 2 plays ago, and we talk about this all the time, Nick, is the momentum changes from sideline to sideline. Nobody's been able to grasp it yet.
Thatcher Shelton looking on 3rd down. He's going to take a shot downfield, and the receiver ran the wrong route. This one's going to be picked off easily. Lincoln North Star going the other way, trying to direct traffic back across midfield. Lincoln North Star able to get a turnover, and week 1 sloppiness is out in full effect, Jay.
Yeah, Nick, I guess if I'm Southwest and their coaching staff, I could say, you know what, that's the equivalent of a punt, but the momentum, it isn't equivalent of a punt. You could say it's a good punt, but North Star Gators are starting to capitalize on consistent mistakes there by the Southwest offense. Really good job of that defender, though, catching it and then trying to get some positive yards to put them in position for explosive play.
So 8 minutes and 1 second to go in the first quarter. Still scoreless in this one. Lincoln North Star now, after the interception, takes over 1st and 10 at the Southwest 45-yard line. Shotgun set here as Eli Schaefer is in the shotgun formation. They send a man in motion from top to bottom. They give it to him on the handoff. This is number 1, Kobe Allen on the carry. And it is good for a gain of a couple up to the 41-yard line.
Nick, I wanted to ask you if you think that, Eli Schaefer, obviously being a sophomore, but he looked like he has a really good command of how to play the position of quarterback. Do you think it'd be more effective to keep Tyrell Chapman in that slot kind of receiver decoy mode because the offense seemed to be humming when Eli was at the main helm at quarterback.
It feels like James Thompson likes to have a quarterback that can predominantly throw and then one that can kind of do a little bit of both. And it feels like with Schaefer, it's much more the throwing option as he's back to pass on second and medium. Quick pass. It's through the hands of Wellstead. He kind of slipped on the turf with that right shoe, and it went through his hands. It was a little bit behind him, just outside the hash marks on the near side between the numbers and the hashes. And so now it's going to be 3rd down and 6 with 7:51 to go in the first quarter.
I think with that play call, I think North Star Gators are telling you we're going for it on 4th down if we have to get in that position. But a little bit of that ball placement, Nick, was a byproduct of a little bit of a low snap. So sometimes as a young quarterback, you have to understand you got to be a little bit more patient with your fundamentals, try to stick it in there, even though the play didn't start out positive.
Shotgun set. Severs, who we have yet to see tonight, is in the left side. Now a pass down the field intended for Wellstead is way out of reach. It was well out of bounds as well on the attempt from Schaefer to Wellstead. And now on 4th down and 6, it looks like James Thompson is going to pull his offense off the field, and they're going to try to pin Southwest deep.
Yeah, maybe he's a little upset at Eli Schaefer going up top on the 9 route. But I would ask you this, Nick. Do you think that the North Star Gators feel that they have a athlete advantage over Mr. Teague over there with Wellstead? Because the 3 plays that they've thrown deep have been onto this right side and the left side of the Southwest Silverhawk defense. Yeah,
they've been favoring Wellstead. They went to him right out of the gate, and they've been pretty consistent with that. Now a bad punt that's going to be a line drive heading towards the Southwest sideline. It was fortunately for Lincoln Southwest, for Lincoln North Star, it continued to bounce towards the end zone and not so much to the sideline. There is a penalty flag far away from where the ball went out of bounds at the 18-yard line. There was some extracurricular stuff. A couple bodies on the ground. We'll see what the call is.
Remember the old no, Nick, we have Mr. Dave in here from Renew Your Auto in here spotting for it. Listen, you remember giving him the business. That's before Nick's time. Nick, you're just probably a thought then, but you're giving him the business over there. One thing that we do have to talk about though, Nick, early in the season, the emotions run high. Most of these young men have competed against each other all summer or all spring, or actually they start in the winter, all winter and through all summer in 7-on-7. Little woofing going on. So you're going to see a little bit of pushing and shoving in between plays and after plays. And so as a head coach, you have to make sure that your players play with a cool head. And if I'm looking correctly, it might be on Southwest. So this could be a bonus to the North Star Gators of a personal foul call, maybe a face mask that'll give the North Star Gators either the 1st down or give them 5 yards to go for it on 4th and 1. Nick, remember when we were talking about, I think it was Southwest, was it Southwest against Millard West, all the penalties that set up the big plays by Mr. Bryson Williams. And now let's see if this is one of them that we've seen many times out here at Seacrest.
Yeah, so right now, as it stands before any of the penalty calls, it is Lincoln Southwest football. But as Jay mentioned, Lincoln North Star started to bring their offense back out onto the field, and it appears that Lincoln North Star.
Well, Southwest has their offense out on the field.
It is going to be a legal procedure against Lincoln North Star, and so week 1 for the officials as well, Jay.
Well, the uniforms aren't the same, so I don't know how you mix that up, but. Everybody's getting into game shape, and week 1 is always an exciting time, and so we'll let it pass here. Now we're getting week 9, Nick. Now we're going to have to probably start calling them out a little bit, but I want to ask you right now, Southwest, do you think they're going to try to come out with the conventional run game or to try to get into the pass game?
Neither side has tried the conventional run game. So Thatcher Shelton now, he'll audible go into the I formation as they turn, hand it off here on 1st down. It's carried by Noah Curtis, and he stumbles his way forward for maybe a gain of a half a yard up to the 24-yard line, 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, I'm not sure if in 2025 we think the conventional run game is the old Nebraska eye running the power, but the North Star Gators were more than prepared for a good stop there by that Gator defense.
7:15 to go in the first quarter, 0-0 still your score between Lincoln Southwest and Lincoln North Star. Southwest with the football for the 2nd time this evening at their own 24-yard line. Their last possession resulted in an interception that went the other way, but no harm, no foul. Now Thatcher Shelton turns the misdirection to Curtis again. He gets spun around and dropped after another short gain of maybe 2 on that play up to the 31-yard line. And so now it's 3rd down and still 7 to go from the 26.
You know, Nick, I don't really mind the play calling when you're kind of backed up and you don't have any momentum. As we saw the Cincinnati Bearcats, when they were backed up against our Huskers, they played right into their hands. So a little bit of conservative here. And we see Southwest doing something sneaky that we don't see much in high school, is eating a little bit of clock in between plays. Let's see if they try to go up top to one of their big, tall receivers on this 3rd down.
6.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter, still scoreless. Shotgun set, 2 wideouts near side, 1 to the far. Thatcher Shelton turns, looking, trying to get it out to the near side to Gavin Stroop, and was unable, just out of reach of number 5 in white for Lincoln Southwest. And so quickly a 3 and out. And Lincoln North Star, maybe that's why James Thompson decided to punt. I think there's some confidence oozing from that Lincoln North Star sideline. Yeah, they hit the big play earlier, but even though maybe their offense isn't quite in the rhythm that James Thompson wants the Gators offense to be in, they feel like Lincoln Southwest can't do much against their defense, and now they're going to be punting from their own 26-yard line.
Yeah, when you look at the Gator defense, all the 4 defensive backs, they don't even look to the sideline for the call. It must be heavy man all the game long, so they feel like they can really, really try to stuff the run and play man-to-man on the outside.
Here's a nice boot and a good punt by
Great
Lincoln
punt.
Southwest, as that one's going to be out of bounds across the 40-yard line. The far sideline official halts himself at the 23 and starts walking up. We'll see where he decides to say that ball went out of bounds, the 29-yard line. So a really nice job by Lincoln Southwest reversing the field there. And once again, he kicked that one from his own 15-yard line, and it's down at the 29-yard line, not even giving Lincoln North Star a chance for the return. Okay, so Jay, with 6 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the opening quarter here, still scoreless. Both sides have now been able to kind of get their feet underneath them, a couple of possessions each side. Lincoln North Star back out there for the 3rd time. What's the go-to here on 1st and 10?
Well, I think the go-to is get some semblance of a conventional run game for the North Star Gators. And it could be a toss. It could be kind of a counter or a quick smoke screen to really slow down this aggressive Southwest defense and then try to hit them up over top, because I do think in the skill position area, they have a significant advantage.
Chapman in the shotgun formation. He takes the snap, quick pass out. J.C. Sievers, it's through his hands. That is a backwards pass, so it is a fumble that's going to be recovered by Lincoln Southwest inside the Gators' 15-yard line, and it's now 1st and 10 inside the red zone for the Lincoln Southwest Silverhawks.
Really good job there by Macklin Milius to keep playing. You never know when they're going to call it, but that was a clear behind the line of scrimmage pass, and it was a good job there of hustling to the play. Sometimes Johnny hustle or Johnny on the spot comes from effort. That's a really good job by the Southwest defense. Look, they've had their back against the wall. They've made some plays, but then also they've been able to dictate this pace. They're trying to be physical, and that comes from their effort. Really good job there by the Silverhawks.
And now for Lincoln Southwest, an offense that hasn't really had much going for them offensively. They get a gift, and they are already in the red zone against Lincoln North Star. 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line of the Gators. Shotgun set, 1 running back off to the right side. They turn, they hand it off. Here is Luke Mitchell, his first touch of the game, and we have a penalty flag right where Mitchell was taken down. He kind of got spun around awkwardly. I wouldn't be surprised to see this be a face mask on the Gators. It also came from it's going to be a hold against the Silverhawks. That's why I just won't guess anymore.
Yeah, the umpire came in. He threw it. I think he was a little bit off target there, Nick, with his flag there. They usually throw it at the point of contact or the point of impact of the penalty. But that's a good job by the North Star Gators, even with the run. Get a tackle for loss, and then you get a little bit of a bonus there with the holding penalty. So if they can hold Southwest to a field goal or a long field goal and potentially get a miss, the momentum again is on the North Star Gators sideline. But right now, Southwest is on the move.
Yeah, Lincoln Southwest does have a pretty good field goal kicker, experienced kicker in Ethan Sanchez. Well, I mentioned at the pregame that last year, this game decided by 1.7-6. Lincoln North Star was up and won by 1 point. The 6 points came off the right foot of Ethan Sanchez, the senior now kicker for Lincoln Southwest. High snap corralled by Shelton. It's handed off to Luke Mitchell. He kind of tries to accelerate forward, unable to do so very far, up maybe to the 21-yard line. Gain of 3 on 1st down and 20 to bring up now 2nd down and 17.
Yeah, you can say what you want about this North Star Gators defense of being a little bit younger, a little bit smaller physically, but man, they will come up and hit you. They are playing with some aggressiveness tonight, and they are trying to get out of here with only giving up a field goal.
2nd down and 17 now, 5.5 to go in the opening quarter here at Seacrest Field. A beautiful night for football. It was upper 70s at kickoff, and Lincoln Southwest trying to crack the scoring column first. Here in this one, we're still scoreless as Thatcher Shelton takes this one left side, trying to evade pressure. He's going to get inside the 20-yard line before he's wrapped up there on the near boundary by number 5 for Lincoln North Star, Tyrell Chapman. Second tackle of the day for Chapman, the defensive back who doubles as the quarterback for Lincoln North Star.
Yeah, it was a really good job there by Thatcher getting on the outside trying to turn the corner, but that North Star Gator defense is fast and physical. Good job there by Tyrell Chapman of taking on the receiver, defeating the block, and tackling for a minimal gain. Right now, the Southwest Silverhawks have to put the ball in the air, and it has to be something besides throwing a back shoulder fade or a jump ball. You got to look for something in the middle. They brought their all-everything or potential all-everything, Evan Robinson, in, but now he's on the bench. It's going to be interesting to see who they go to on this third down.
Looks like Grant Tranowitz wants to talk things over after they got set up. 3rd down and 14. We're going to take our first time out. We'll be back in 60 seconds here on 93.7 The Ticket.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sainer, Jay Foreman, Austin Norman back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios ahead of 3rd down and 14. Lincoln Southwest with the football. They have it on the Gators' 18-yard line. They can obviously get a first down without finding the end zone if they can get to the 4-yard line or better. Lincoln Southwest struggling to get anything going, especially through the air. I mentioned earlier they graduated their top 4 wide receivers from last year. Here's Shelton on 3rd down, looking up the seam, caught, touchdown! Lincoln Southwest, Gavin Stroop strikes first on the 18-yard pass from Shelton, and Lincoln Southwest takes a 6-0 lead with 5:02 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, young man Thatcher Shelton stood down, looked down the barrel of that Gator defense, trying to inflict some pain, dropped it on the money to throw big pass there. What did we talk about, Nick, before the timeout? You have to attack the middle of the field. I think it's the green shoes connection.
Ethan Sanchez on to attempt the point after with 5:02 to go in the first quarter. Lincoln Southwest strikes first. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 5:02 to go in the first quarter. It's now 7-0 Silverhawks. Let's step aside, come back in 30 seconds here on 93.7 The Ticket.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Welcome back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
An 18-yard completion from Thatcher Shelton to Gavin Stroop gives Lincoln Southwest a 7-0 lead with 5:02 to go in the first quarter. It was all set up by that backward pass that was unable to be hauled in by J.C. Sievers for Lincoln North Star. It gave the Silverhawks the ball inside the red zone. They tried to shoot themselves in their own foot with a penalty, but fortunately for the Silverhawks, out of the timeout, they score a touchdown.
Nick, Coach Thompson likes to have one quarterback that can run, one can pass. That type of swing pass is something that you probably want to have Eli Schaefer in to do that versus Tyrell Chapman. But those are the little things when you're in the two-a-days in summer camp that you really got to harp on. Anytime the ball's on the ground, whether the referee blows the whistle or not, you got to get on it and corral it just in case you don't give it to the opposing team and be down 7-0.
7-0. Ethan Sanchez has the ball on the tee. We're ready to boot things again here at Seacrest. They lead at 7-0, and this one is going to be hauled in the end zone for a touchback. And so now we'll see how Lincoln North Star can respond. They came out right out of the gate and caught a big play from their quarterback Schaefer to Wellstad down the near sideline. But since then, it's been the opposite of explosive plays on offense for Lincoln North Star. A good job settling in by this Silverhawk defense.
Yeah, Lincoln North Star has got to find some rhythm, and sometimes you can really keep having revisionist history and keep going back to that long-distance bomb play off the first play. You got to get some rhythm passing, whether it's Tyler Chapman or Eli Schaefer, or you want to allow them to tuck it and run if they see man-to-man.
Tyrell Chapman in the shotgun set. J.C. Sievers off his right hip. 2 wideouts each side. They turn, they hand it off. First carry of the game to Sievers. And a nice job defensively by number 11, McLean Milius. After he's able to take Sievers down after a short gain of 2 on the play, it's going to bring up 2nd down and 8 from the 22.
Yeah, Southwest, as many games we've done over the last few years, have always had a really good, well-coached defensive line. Milius is a long line of really good players that come through the Southwest program. Good play there by the young junior.
2nd down and 8 from the 22. Lincoln North Star breaks the huddle, and they'll send out same formation, 2 wideouts each side. And J.C. Sievers to the right side of Tyrell Chapman. Chapman, he'll clap his hands, take the snap, rolls out to his right side. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. He's getting pursued by a laundry list of Southwest defenders, somehow escapes and evades pressure and is able to make a 5-yard gain happen, or 4-yard gain happen, rather, up to the 27-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and short.
Yeah, with Tyrell Chapman and his athletic ability, you're always able to kind of create more plays or create more yards when it doesn't look like you're going to get any. But at the end of the day, now we're in 3rd down. You got to get the momentum and start putting first downs and starting to move the chains. You're going to do something more than just quarterback sweep right or left.
3rd down and 3 from the 27-yard line. Lincoln North Star trying to answer after a Southwest touchdown. Tyrell Chapman fakes the handoff. It's a keeper. He's got a lot of running room up the middle, and he'll slide, give himself up, but not until he has a first down across the 30 and to the 35-yard line. A nice decision, a nice job, and good discipline by Tyrell Chapman.
Yeah, that's it. That is a la Cam Newton, a little RPO action, and once he read the defensive end or outside defender, you knew it was going to be first down. A really good job by Southwest of rallying to the ball, stopping him from getting the explosive run.
1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. They marked it at the 34 since that is where Chapman started his slide. And so it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 34. 3:36 to play in the opening quarter. 7-0 Lincoln Southwest over the North Star Gators. Quick pass out far side, and it hit the turf, incomplete, as it was intended for Wellstead on the far side. And he had a little bit of running room, just an inaccurate ball thrown by Tyrell Chapman.
Yeah, that's what I asked you, is that, Tyrell Chapman can play almost every position on the football field, but the quarterback position in certain throws, if you don't have a lot of reps, become a little bit harder when you're doing so many other things. I think Coach Thompson probably should look at Eli Schaefer to probably throw some of them routes because they do have a lot of open space if they're able to complete them.
2nd down and 10 now from the 34-yard line, 3.5 to go. As Gators break the huddle with 13 on the play clock. It's now inside 10 seconds as they motion Kobe Allen from left to right. 5 seconds on the play clock. As Chapman takes the snap, rolls out to the right side, looking, surveying. He'll take off and run with it. Tiptoe the sideline on the near side, and now kind of spin his way out of bounds just shy of the 40-yard line at the 39, a gain of 5.
Nick, sometimes when you have a really, not a good athlete, but a great athlete like Tyrell Chapman, you can almost fall into the Adrian Martinez syndrome of get the ball in Adrian's hand, let him run around and create something. But more importantly, when the defense hones in on that, you got to have rhythm outside of it. So I think you should establish that rhythm early in the game so you can let Tyrell Chapman and athletes like Tyrell Chapman be the closers.
3rd and 5 now from the 39-yard line. Lincoln North Star slowing things down. We saw Lincoln Southwest do it before they took over after the fumble, but they had started to really chew some clock offensively, did the Silverhawks. Now the North Star Gators doing something similar, but we have a penalty marker on the play. I'm wondering if they will reward James Thompson with a timeout. No, they're going to say delay of game. And so sometimes they'll allow James Thompson to utilize a timeout if they choose to, but yet they say delay of game. And so now, as they were on schedule, 3rd and 5, now it turns into a 3rd and 10. And for an offense that's really struggled to get anything of substance going, they are now 3rd and 10 from their own 34.
Yeah, you would like to think that you want to keep those extra 5 yards. But, Nick, if you get Southwest dropping deep in the zones, that allows you more room for Tyrell Chapman for QB QB
Here's
scramble.
Chapman throwing it down. There's two receivers, and Allen is able to sky high for the catch as he went over the top of his own teammate. Louis Wellstead was in front of him. The ball was floated in the vicinity of both of them. And so, Jay, let me ask you this. As it's going to be 1st and 10 for Lincoln North Star, is that a wide receiver route issue that they're in such close proximity to each other?
They were trying to run a little bit of level routes, and the lower guy went a little bit too high. But nevertheless, Kobe Allen, with his really, really extreme athletic ability, was his sky up, and Randy Moss, his own teammate, for a big play.
So now 2 wideouts each side as they bring Eli Schaefer in at quarterback. J.C. Sievers to his left side. They fake the handoff, quick pass out right side, hauled in inside Louis Wellstead, inside the 30, inside the 25, and stumbles his way forward. We have a penalty marker on the play, and I think they're going to get an extra 15 on top.
Yeah, sometimes you can be over-aggressive, and we saw the defender from Southwest who was a little bit late. You talk about to the echo to the whistle. I think that echo was here and gone, but a really good job there by Eli Schaefer, finding his partner in crime, getting him in rhythm. And he also, more importantly, Nick, where he threw it, he could only catch it and allowed him to run after the catch.
Big name of the game. I mean, for both of these teams, they have lost some skill guys on the outside going into the 2025 season. And so far, Louis Wellstead has kind of answered the call for Lincoln North Star. He's been there, and best ability is your availability. He's surely been available.
Yeah, Wellstead is a good-looking athlete. He runs some really crisp routes, and so you can see he has a connection with both quarterbacks, but more importantly, he has one with Eli Schaefer. Now he's one-on-one over there in the corner with the Southwest defender. Let's see if you get a little bit of a jump ball here at the top of the north side of the field.
He's working now left side. They hand it off. Great pursuit and tackle by Alex Dawes, the sophomore, able to get in the backfield and take down Josh Anderson, the senior running back, who was trying to get around the left side, unable to do so, and it's going to now be 2nd down and a mile.
Yeah, sometimes when you've been going vertically with your explosive plays like North Star Gators, you want to try to hit them on the side, but Southwest is letting you know they have speed, and good job there by Dawes. Filling the alley, and more importantly, Nick, good strong tackle by the 5'8", 150-pound sophomore safety. Big man, big pads.
2 wideouts each side. They're on the left side hash mark. 2nd down and goal from the 17-yard line. 6 seconds on the play clock. They take the snap. Schaefer throws left side. It's hauled in by Wellstead inside the 5. Lunges forward. He's going to be shy of the goal line. Down at the 2.
Well, Nick, if I'm Southwest Silverhawks, the first adjustment I'm making in between the quarters, we might have to start doubling number 4. Number 4 is doing anything and everything he wants out of here tonight. Emerging star here out at Seacrest Field, a.k.a. Aaron Davis.
We are inside 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. They marked him down at the 3. It's going to be 3rd down and goal from the 3 with 1:47 to go. Lincoln Southwest leads it 7-0. Lincoln North Star comes out in shotgun. 2 wideouts to the far side. 1 at the bottom, and that is Tyrell Chapman in one-on-one coverage. They turn. They hand it off. Sievers. He gets stood up and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. 4 Silverhawk defenders meet Sievers in the backfield, and that brings up 4th and goal.
Yeah, tried to catch the Silverhawks slipping or sleeping over there because you had your best player wide out or spread out there wide all the way by the numbers on the wide side of the field. Wellstead to the boundary, try to get him up the gut there, and there was a little bit of a delay there, counter, Nick. I would have liked to see something just direct inside-outside zone. I'm sure the North Star Gators wish they had that play call back.
Eldon Romulik will come in to attempt the field goal. It is going to be a 23-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up, and it's blocked. It's blocked by the Silverhawks, and how about that? Southwest stands strong again, and they avoid allowing Lincoln North Star to put points on the board, and so with 51 seconds on the game clock here in the first quarter, it stays a 7-0 ball game, and Lincoln Southwest takes over.
Yeah, momentum is swinging in this game, and Southwest has been taking advantage of it the last 2 opportunities. Now, you got to think about the cause and effect, Nick, right? The play call that really was a throwaway play, you thought you could get 3 points, and sometimes when you try to coach or call plays or plan ahead, it doesn't work out. But you start to see the physicality up the middle from the Southwest Silverhawks paid off right there. Good job of blocking it. More importantly, a good job of recovering it. Even though it was behind the line of scrimmage toward the Southwest Silverhawks, they picked it up and tried to get positive yards. Now, if they didn't, it would have been where the ball was kicked versus where it landed on the defensive side.
1st and 10, they turn, hand it off. Luke Mitchell from the 7, and he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. No, they're going to say he lost a yard on that one. So now 2nd down and 11 from the 6 coming up.
Yeah, Luke Mitchell right there. No running room, but against that fast, physical North Star Gator defense. And now you look at the Lincoln Southwest Silverhawks. They wish that play was ran a little bit later in the play clock, because in this play, they would have been able to go to the other end of the field and be in the second quarter.
2nd down and 11, 17 seconds and counting. There's about a 4-second differential between the game clock and the play clock as Lincoln Southwest leads by a touchdown. They turn, hand it off. Here's Mitchell. He cuts his way back up towards the middle, and he runs himself into a pile. May have gotten a gain of 2 on the play, and so it'll bring up 3rd down and 9 after we take a brief intermission for the end of the first quarter. At end of 1 quarter of play here at Seacrest Field, Lincoln Southwest has taken advantage of a North Star fumble. They found pay dirt on an 18-yard pass completion from Thatcher Shelton to Gavin Stroop to strike first, and that is all that has happened here through 12 minutes of game time. We go to the second quarter of play. It's 7-0 Lincoln Southwest over Lincoln North Star here on 93.7 The Ticket.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Start of the second quarter, it's 3rd down and 9 as the Silverhawks will hand it off. Luke Mitchell tries to bounce outside. He gets outside the hashes for a 1st down and more across the 25 and down just shy of the 30 at the 28. It is a gain of 20 yards on 3rd down. Luke Mitchell finally able to put his fingerprint on this game on the first play in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think starting the second quarter, I think he caught the North Star Gators defense speed-wise. They didn't know that he was that fast. He was able to get the corner, put his foot in the ground, not only get the 1st down, but got an explosive run. And so Mr. Mitchell is trying to be in a long list of really good Southwest Silverhawks running backs. You go all the way back to Josh Banderas, and then we had, I think it was Luke Key. That was all everything. I think he broke every Southwest Silverhawk record as far as running the ball. And now Luke Mitchell is trying to be the next in line.
1st and 10 from the 28-yard line, and Lincoln Southwest wants to talk things over before the snap on 1st down from the 28. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. Jay, when you look around the capital city, obviously we saw Lincoln Southeast win last night. We heard that Lincoln Southeast won last night 30-0 over Grand Island. We see these two teams dueling it out. It's going to be a competitive game. We expect it to be until the end of this one as Lincoln Southwest leads it by a touchdown 7-0 right now. There's a lot of competitiveness in the capital city. Should be a good season for Lincoln High School football.
Yeah, it's going to be really competitive from top to bottom, and I think even Lincoln High has gotten better. So you're not going to be able to go over there and think you're just going to roll out of bed and get a victory. And North Star Gators have been building up their program. The Southwest Silverhawks have been an established program. Lincoln Southeast has been an established program ever since even when I was in college. And Lincoln East has been really the king of the Lincoln, I guess, won the city of Lincoln the title. So everybody is going to be on the uptick and is going to be very, very competitive every Friday night.
It's now 1st and 10 out of the Silverhawks timeout. They have 1 remaining. The Gators still have all 3 of their timeouts to use. 1st and 10 from the 28. Fakes the handoff. Thatcher Shelton rolling to his left. Tries to reset his feet. Now throws downfield. A diving attempt, and it's hauled in. A nice grab there on the far sideline by number 87 in white. That's Brody Schwieger, the junior tight end, able to lunge and get the pass to be completed. But there is a penalty marker back at the 44-yard line It was thrown in the secondary. We'll see what the call is.
Yeah, I think it was either defensive holding or pass interference. I don't know which North Star Gator defender, but they had their hands all over Gavin Strout, probably trying to stop him from getting another touchdown. But it was an even better job there, Nick, by Thatcher Shelton, of rolling to his left, even though he's a right-handed quarterback, being patient enough and squaring up his shoulders and looking for a receiver to be open. And he did a good job there by finding his tight end. But for a young quarterback, that's a really good job of playing like a senior quarterback, and potentially you see some college quarterbacks that can't even do that themselves.
So now it is going to be against the Gators. Southwest might decline this penalty. Here's the official call from the head referee. It's going to be a holding against the defense. Penalty is going to be declined, so it's going to be 1st and 10 now from the 39-yard line. It was a gain of 11. And so it's now 1st and 10 after the pass was completed to Brody Schwieger.
Yeah, right now you see Southwest, they're going to try to bleed the clock, but then also look for and try to be explosive in the pass game.
1st and 10, they hand it off and going nowhere. The ball carrier tackled down on the play right at that 39-yard line. Once again, Luke Mitchell on the carry. We saw Luke Mitchell last year as primarily a wide receiver. This year, doing a lot of ball carrying. Not the biggest guy out there, 5'10", 175.
Yeah, but he's tough, and he runs behind his pads. He plays a lot bigger than obviously his frame and his body weight shows. And I think his experience as a receiver is what allowed him to turn the corner on that North Star Gator defense a couple plays previous, but then more importantly, not let defenders get a clear, hard shot on him.
2nd and 10 from the 39. They turn. Thatcher Shelton hands it off to Luke Mitchell. Great patience. Now he bounces out left side, and there goes Mitchell across the 40, across the 30, being tracked down by 2 Gators and pushed out of bounds inside the 10. But we're going to have another unsportsmanlike conduct, unnecessary roughness against Lincoln North Star. Luke Mitchell runs across midfield all the way inside the 10. They mark him out at the 5, rather the 6-yard line. And this is going to make it half the distance to the goal, so I would imagine that they will put it at the 3.
Yeah, really good job there by Luke Mitchell. I just talked about he runs behind his pads, but even though he's listed at 5'10", he's probably closer to 5'9". Really good job of hiding behind his offensive lineman. A pretty big offensive line, down here in Lincoln, and then showing the explosiveness and speed to almost take it home in a home run there by Mr. Mitchell.
So Luke Mitchell, great job with being patient. He took that handoff from Thatcher Shelton, allowed the hole to kind of open up, and then bounced it outside up on the far sideline. And now it is going to be 1st and goal from the 3-yard line with 10-11 to go in the second quarter. Silverhawks trying to give themselves a 2-possession lead. They lead at 7-0. They turn, handed off Mitchell up the middle on the left side, and it will be no gain on the play. 2nd down and goal coming up.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how the North Star Gators defense can compose themselves to try to hold the Southwest Silverhawk offense to a field goal. But more importantly, once they get the ball back, does it change who they have at quarterback or how they start to call plays?
9:41 to go in the second quarter. Remember, in 2024, last season, Lincoln North Star won this matchup 7-6. The Silverhawks looking for revenge. They lead it by a touchdown still, just under halfway through the second quarter. Thatcher Shelton rolling out to his right. He's going to keep it. No, he's going to toss it down to the tight end. It looked like Thatcher Shelton was going to go ahead and tuck and run, but then he saw that the defender was coming his way. He vacated Noah Detlefson for Lincoln Southwest. They tried to get the ball to Detlefson at the last second. It went through his hands, and he just put a little too much mustard on that one when he was only about 1.5 yards away from him.
Yeah, the young sophomore wanted the senior to read his mind right there, and so it was a good job by trying to improvise, but more importantly, not turning the ball over. So it's 3rd and 3. This is a huge part of the game. Can North Star hold them to a field goal? More importantly, can Southwest try to score a touchdown?
3rd and goal from the 3. By himself at the bottom is Gavin Stroop, who has a touchdown here today already. They toss it to Luke Mitchell, trying to barrel his way forward, unable to get across that goal line, and so it's going to bring up 4th and goal. And after it was 1st and goal from the 3, a great job standing strong by the Gators defense, and they're going to force a field goal attempt from the 3-yard line.
Yeah, we saw the Southwest Silverhawks do the same thing to the North Star Gators. The Gators are trying to return the favor. They'll really return the favor if they're able to block this field goal, but more importantly, a little momentum in the positive side for the North Star Gators, not giving up a quick 7 points after the big run.
It'll be a 21-yard field goal here as the kick is Up, and it is good by Ethan Sanchez. A nice job by the holder, as that is Gavin Stroop. It was a low snap. He was able to grab it and corral it in time, put it ready to go, and Sanchez kicked it through the uprights. With 9:17 to go in the second quarter, Lincoln Southwest extends their lead. They now are in front 10-0 over the Lincoln North Star Gators. Nick Sainert, Jay Foreman will step aside, come back in 30 seconds here on 93.7 The Ticket.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Welcome back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
9:17 to go in the second quarter. Lincoln Southwest now leads it 10-0. And Lincoln Southwest will now boot it towards the south end zone, where Lincoln North Star will take over on offense here in just a moment, trying to find any source of offense.
Right now, the North Star Gators have to do a really good job of not getting over their skis, in the sense of there's still a lot of time left in this game. There's no 10-point play out there that you have in your playbook. If you did it, you wouldn't be down 10-0. So you have to really get in the rhythm, whether it's going to be Eli Schaefer at quarterback or Tyrell Chapman, or in combination. You got to match up the plays to the players, and I think they'll have some success.
Here they try the fake reverse on the kickoff return. North Star's got some room up across the 30-yard line, up the far sideline. Ethan Sanchez able to tackle the kick returner, helping himself out there, but not until Lincoln North Star gets it to the 45-yard line, and that is where they'll set up shop. 1st and 10 on a nice return there. I believe that was number 3 for Lincoln North Star, Josh Anderson, on the return.
Yeah, really good job there by North Star, is getting the fake handoff and getting the momentum back. Now the big plays have worked for North Star, right? We've seen it through the air, then obviously through return. Now we need the little plays that's going to lead to the big plays and possibly to points on the scoreboard.
9:08 to go in the first half. Lincoln North Star trails by 10. It's 10-0. They start 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line after a nice return by Josh Anderson. Here's the quarterback, Schaefer, back to pass. He evades pressure, rolls out to his right. He'll tuck and run up the far sideline and just escort himself out of bounds just shy of the 50. No, they're going to mark him at the 50. And so it's now a gain of 5, 2nd down and 5 coming up.
Good job there by the young sophomore Eli Schaefer of not trying to force the ball. That's the headiness that you need as a quarterback, is understanding you're down 2 scores. The possession of the ball plays in your favor. You want to keep the ball and keep marching down the field. And he gained 5 yards on 1st down. So now they're ahead of schedule, which they've always, or primarily in this game, they've been behind schedule through penalties and negative plays.
2 wideouts each side. Sievers to the left side of Eli Schaefer in the shotgun set. 2nd down and 5. Schaefer back to pass, looking Chapman's way. He's able to haul it in. He was down on one knee, held it in right at that line to gain, and they're going to say move the chains. It's 1st and 10 from the 45.
Good contested catch there by Tyrell Chapman by the way of Eli Schaefer, connecting the quarterbacks to the receiver now with Tyrell Chapman. Now you're starting to see some rhythm. Now let's see if they get a little bit more tempo, or do they stay at this snail's pace here?
8:42 to go in the second quarter. It's 10-0 Lincoln Southwest. North Star with the football, trips out to the far side, 1 wideout, and that's Wellstead by himself on the near boundary. Sievers to the right side of Eli Schaefer. He's back to pass, looking to his right, throws off balance. That pass deflected and knocked away. Great defensive play by Alex Dawes. That's the second time we've seen Dawes come up big in the secondary. Now it's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Gators offense.
Yeah, the 5'10", 5'8", 150-pound safety is making some plays tonight, and Eli Schaefer almost had to learn a crucial lesson on the spot. Hesitation leads to interceptions and almost touchdowns the other way. Good job there by Dawes of breaking up that pass.
8:23 to go, 2nd down and 10 from the Lincoln Southwest 45-yard line. They'll get ready here. 2nd down and 10 for Lincoln North Stars Lincoln North Stars offense, trailing by 10, 2 wideouts each side. Sievers to the right side of Schaefer. Schaefer takes the snap, looks out left side, pass caught quickly by Wellstead. Good wrap up and a tackle by Micah Jessen of Lincoln Southwest, but not until Wellstead got across the 37-yard line and down at the 36. It's a gain of 9 on 2nd down and 10. That'll bring up 3rd down and manageable.
Yeah, this is a crucial play call here because we've seen this before earlier in the game where you kind of a little bit of a delayed counter, ended up getting nothing, and led to a blocked field goal. Maybe a little bit more aggression it will allow you and also dictate whether North Star goes for it on 4th down.
3rd and short, back to pass. Schaefer throws it up the seam, finds his tight end. Good tackle by Dawes across the 30-yard line. A nice catch as well by number 17. That's Scott Hebel-Heinrich. And Scott Hebel-Heinrich gives the Gators offense a 1st down. It's 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line of Lincoln Southwest.
Good job there by Hebel-Heinrich of catching the ball behind him, securing it because Dawes came up and laid a pretty big hit on him. But more importantly, I think Southwest thought they were going to go back to Wellstead. Good job there by Coach Thompson and Eli Schaefer going to the tight end.
7:21 to go until halftime. It's 10-0 Lincoln Southwest. Lincoln North Star, though, finally finding a rhythm offensively. They have it 1st and 10 on the Silverhawks 28-yard line. Shotgun set. They motion a man. That is Hebel-Heinrich. They look Hebel-Heinrich's way. He hauls it in and is immediately met at the 25-yard line, but he's able to kind of fall forward using his size as an advantage over the smaller defender, Amanu Lesoing, and it is going to be 2nd down and now 5 coming up from the 24.
Yeah, now you're starting to see some rhythm here and a little bit of different play concepts that are being called here by North Star, right? You had them up the seam with the tight end, a little bit of tight end delayed flat. You got Wellstead on the quick slant. So you're attacking all thirds of the field, and that's where you're seeing some success right now by this Gator offense.
6.5 to go until the halftime break. 2nd down and 6 officially from the 24. Schaefer in shotgun. He gets the snap, looking right, still surveying, steps up now, pushes his guys to the left, and he gives himself up. Gets met by number 44 for Lincoln Southwest defensively. That is Gavin Rathbun, and he was able to lay a licking on the Gator quarterback just shy of the 20-yard line at the 21. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, Gavin arrived with bad intentions. It must be in the number that because he's wearing Eli Schaefer.
You can't even say it without laughing.
He's learning some lessons. Listen, don't hesitate when you throw. It could lead to interception. And you see number 44 on Southwest, get down. We need you the next drive.
3rd and 3 coming up from the 21-yard line. Shotgun set, 3 wideouts to the far side as Wellstead all by himself just outside the numbers on the near sideline. Here's the snap. A little low, corralled, quick pass out left side. Sievers has a lot of running room. 1st down and more inside the 15 and gets upended just across the 10. He's out of bounds at the 9. It'll bring up 1st and goal. A nice, easy pitch and catch from Schaefer to Sievers.
That swing route, Nick, that I talked about, Eli Schaefer is probably a little bit more equipped to throw that because he's primarily just a quarterback versus Tyrell Chapman plays every position. You saw it, led the receiver up the sideline. Big explosive play there by the Gators.
5:35 to go in the 2nd quarter. It is 1st and goal. Nice job by Lincoln North Star sustaining this drive. They've converted on a couple of 3rd down attempts, and now with 4 on the play clock, they take the shotgun snap. Schaefer rolling out to his right side, trying to get it to his wide receiver. It's all thrown over the top, intended for Kobe Allen. It's just out of reach as he had to try to wheel his way up that far sideline into the end zone, just out of reach of the outstretched arm of Allen. Brings up 2nd and goal from the 9.
That was a good job there by Mr. Dawes there from Southwest of not, losing sight of the receiver, and an even better job there by Eli Schaefer trying to, flatten up there to Kobe Allen. Now, still, Gators are being aggressive. I like them more aggressive as far as their play calling, but a really good job there by Mr. Dawes there coming up with a pass breakup.
5:28 to go, 2nd quarter, 10-0. It's now 2nd and goal for Lincoln North Star, trying to find something in the scoring column here for the first time tonight. 2nd and goal, 3 on the play clock. They take the snap. Schaefer looks right side. They get it to the receiver. He lunges across the goal line. Touchdown, Lincoln North Star. Tyrell Chapman on the 9-yard pitch and catch from Eli Schaefer gives Lincoln North Star their first score of 2025. And with 5:23 to go in the 2nd quarter, it's 10-6.
Nick, I asked you what would be better if Eli Schaefer at just primarily quarterback with Tyrell Chapman at receiver, kind of a decoy. But even better job, I want to give J.C. Sievers a lot of credit. Southwest showed that they were going to go 0 blitz, and they were blitzing off the corner. He did a really good job of getting in the way with the unblocked rusher from Southwest, allowing Eli Schaefer to put it on the money to Tyrell Chapman.
Kick is up and good. Lincoln North Star trims the Southwest lead The Silverhawks lead by just 3. It is now 10-7 with 5:23 to go in the second quarter. And we will step aside, come back in 30 seconds here on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Wrong one.
This is a presentation of
Turn this off,
Nebraska
please.
High School Football on. Welcome back to High School Football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, so Lincoln North Star trims the Silverhawk lead. They now trail 10-7. A little bit of miscommunication on where they want to put the tee to kick this one off. Lincoln North Star, they will boot it towards the north end zone. 5:23 to go in the second quarter. It's 10-7 Lincoln Southwest. Jay, Lincoln North Star, they're able to answer.
Yeah.
And
It's a big
now
drive.
it is a massive drive. It took multiple minutes off the game clock. A nice sustained drive there by the Gators offense. Nice job. Once again, we're starting to see both sides start to settle in a little bit more, get the feet underneath them, and be able to sustain some drives here.
Yeah, you like to see, you like the answer there from the North Star Gators. I think they got a little bit of frustrated. You saw a personal foul there after a big long run, gathered themselves and was able to answer. Now we got a more competitive. Whoa.
Emmett Sanchez on the return, and he gets flipped upside down just past the 20-yard line at the 23.
Yeah.
Finish your point, though, before you said, whoa.
Yeah, somebody got their block knocked off. But more importantly, they were able to gather themselves and then sustain a drive. Now it's almost like 2 touchdowns because you get confidence. You haven't scored a touchdown early, yet in the season. You're down by 10. You very easily can say, okay, here we go again. But really, really good job of putting a really detailed and aggressive play calling drive. Now they can go back to that versus Tyrell Chapman coming in. We're running primarily sweeps, and Eli Schaefer come in. We're primarily going deep.
1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. Lincoln Southwest back on offense. Thatcher Shelton. 2 wideouts far side, 1 running back to the left side of him. Shelton reverses course, throws back the other side. It's hauled in by number 14, Owen Helkin. Helkin gets across the first down marker, across the 35-yard line, and barrels his way to the 36. 1st and 10, a nice job there. Looked like they were going to try to direct something, all the traffic to the far side of the field. Shelton reverses course, has a wide open target on the near side.
Nick, that's called the you-know-what screen right there. Good job by Thatcher Shelton selling it where you kind of roll out like you're going to throw it to the left. You release the tight end on a delay back to where he was. Really good job, and that's a play that you call generally against a fast, over-aggressive defense like the North Star Gators.
Opportunity here for Lincoln Southwest long-term to really dominate the middle eights of this ball game as they will receive the second half kickoff. A handoff here on 1st and 10 to Luke Mitchell. He gets up the middle for a gain of 3 to the 39-yard line. A tough spot there by by the far sideline official. Looked like Mitchell got tackled closer to the 41, but instead they marked him at their own 39.
Yeah, it was a really well, I think the whole pile was at the 39, but I think Luke Mitchell was, like you said, closer to the 41-yard line. Now you're looking at, if you're North Star, if you can get a possession back versus what do you do play calling wise by Lincoln Southwest Silverhawks as far as do you be aggressive knowing that you get the ball coming out in the second half or do you be really conservative and try to get a field goal?
2nd down and 7 to go. Here's Mitchell able to break some tackles across midfield and down at the 46-yard line. It is 1st and 10 after Luke Mitchell starting to wear down the front 7 of Lincoln North Star, and he's been able to get some big runs as well, Jay.
Yeah, Big Cole Nelson is moving some people out there, and Luke Mitchell is doing a really good job of running behind his pads, but he's getting in and out of his cuts, and he's very, very decisive. Obviously there's no comparison to the person I'm about to say, but his running style is like Christian McCaffrey, right? Everybody thought Christian McCaffrey wasn't big enough to play in the NFL. He's still probably the best, if not one of the best running backs. around right now, and he runs similar to Mr. Mitchell.
1st and 10, faking the handoff. Shelton turns around, and he gets met by a Gator defender. No, they're going to say that he did hit the turf. It looked like he was going to hop up. I thought Shelton thought he had not been tackled. A great job by, I believe that is number 33 for Lincoln North Star.
Yeah.
J.C. Sievers in the backfield, able to tackle Shelton all the way back at the Silverhawks 41.
I like that play call by North Star, trying to gain a possession. If you can get them out of field goal range and make them punt, you still have timeouts left. You knew that it was a take-a-shot area. And what did they do when they got you down here when they were backed up? They ran a little bit of a, you-know-what screen. That was a QB waggle that they ran down in the red zone. I really like that defensive call there by that North Star Gator staff.
Thatcher Shelton turned around and was met by Sievers before he could even get his bearings and look downfield. So they handed off on 2nd down and a mile, and now they get about a 3-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and maybe 16 from the 45-yard line, and Lincoln North Star calls their first timeout. While we have a stop in the action, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Nick Sander, Jay Foreman back with you from Seacrest Field. 3rd down, and it's officially 20. I had bad math. They had already updated the scoreboard when I looked at it. 3rd down and 20 from the 45-yard line. 2:22 to go until halftime. At the half, we will have a scoreboard update from our guys back in the studio. Alex and Austin back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios before we bring it back out here to Jay and myself with some thoughts from this first half. It's been a good first half. It started out a little slow, started out a little sloppy, but both sides now been able to kind of clean up some of the penalties and the discipline issues. And with 2:22 to go, we'll see what Lincoln Southwest tries to do. 3rd and 20 from their own 45-yard line. Probably expect a run, force them to burn another timeout. They turn. Noah Curtis with the handoff gets stopped after a short gain of 3. And I think James Thompson is going to allow this clock to continue running. 2:09 to go until halftime. 4th down and 17 officially. With 2 timeouts, James Thompson is going to allow another 23 seconds to run off this clock. Jay, you like this decision to keep the 2 timeouts in your pocket for offense?
Yeah, well, only because if Eli Schaefer is going to come back out and play quarterback. I like it because he can probably systematically take you down the field as he showed you last drive. Now, in a normal game in the second half, I probably would have burned that timeout because I want to stop the clock because I need more time versus I need more plays.
High punt, fair catch signaled for and hauled in just inside the 20-yard line. And so with 1 minute and 31 seconds to go until the break, Lincoln North Star will take over at their own 19-yard line, 1st and 10. After on the last possession, they were able to find the end zone for the first time today and cut into that Silverhawks lead. It's 10-7, Lincoln Southwest with a 3-point advantage. We'll go ahead and keep it right here for the time being. If you're Eli Schaefer, you've kind of established 2 targets that you have really liked to go to here in this first half, and that's been Louis Wellstead and then the other quarterback on this Gator offense, Tyrell Chapman.
Yeah, Eli Schaefer's done a really good job from the very beginning of the game of keeping them on time and on pace and on target. Let's see if he can do it in the last 2 minutes.
Schaefer back to pass, and they bring the blitz on 1st down. A sack by McLean Milius, the junior, gets into the backfield, and it's going to be 2nd down and 20 after the loss of 10 on the sack. McLean Milius once again making his name known early on in this series.
Yeah, the Southwest Silverhawks came with a little bit of curveball there. They did a double TE stunt, allowed Milius to get in there and sack the quarterback early in this drive before halftime. But, Nick, we're already down at a minute.
Back to pass. Schaefer going to take a shot down the near sideline. Chapman had his man beat, and it was just out of reach of number 5 in gray. Tyrell Chapman unable to turn on the gas enough to catch up to that ball thrown by Schaefer. Had his guy beat on the near sideline, and that could have been 6.
Yeah, that could have been really the big momentum shift that North Star wanted to go in at halftime, considering that they don't get it, the ball coming out of in the start the second half. Just a step or just a little bit overthrown. Really good job there by Tyrell Chapman creating some separation.
3rd and 19 from the 10-yard line. We're inside a minute until halftime. 10-7, Lincoln Southwest leads by 3. 53 seconds to go until the break. 7 seconds on the play clock. The snap back, Schaefer, quick pass out right side. It is out of the reach of the intended receiver as they were trying to get it to Landon Steiger. Steiger, the junior wideout, first time we've called his name today, and it's now going to bring up 4th down. And now with a good kicker like Ethan Sanchez, if you get a decent return here, if you're Lincoln Southwest, you could find yourself in field goal range.
Yeah, and Lincoln Southwest, that's definitely on the table, considering that you did save a timeout here before you go into halftime. So you either get a big return or a big play within the first 2 plays of the series. Sanchez comes in, and he can hit easily from almost 50 yards, Nick.
It's going to be incredibly important for Romulik, the Gators punter, to get a good one off. It looks like Southwest might bring some guys. They're going to run off to the right side rugby style. It's a low line drive. It takes a Southwest friendly bounce at the 37, and then it reverses course, and it will be marked down at the 49-yard line of Lincoln North Star. So they're on the plus side of the 50 at the 49, and we'll see what Lincoln Southwest decides to do offensively. They were able to find a connection between their quarterback Thatcher Shelton and Gavin Stroop earlier in the form of an 18-yard touchdown reception. But other than that, it's been a lot of Luke Mitchell and Noah Curtis on the ground.
So, Nick, when you think about this, you got 35 seconds left, 1 timeout. At what point in time in the first or second play, or maybe even the third play, do you try to hit either Stroup or try to hit Mitchell on a wheel route?
Here's the snap, quick pass out. It's hauled in, and resorting to go out of bounds is number 25, Kevin Richardson, the sophomore, on the nice easy pitch and catch from Thatcher Shelton to Richardson. Gain of 7. That's exactly what you want to do, especially Lincoln North Star, surprisingly enough, just kind of gave that up.
Yeah, they're playing an off man, off zone, and giving up the underneath, considering that there's only 31 seconds left, or when the drive started, 35 seconds left. But you just got a 7-yard gain, and only 4 yards went off the clock, or 4 seconds went off the
Second
clock.
down and 3. Shelton back to pass, getting pressure from the left side. He resorts to going out to the right, trying to scramble with it. He's inside the 40, and he will step out of bounds at the 35-yard line, rather 36-yard line of Lincoln North Star, with still 22 seconds on the game clock until halftime. And so far through these first 2 plays of the Lincoln Southwest possession, they've been able to keep their 1 timeout in their back pocket.
Yeah, and it's 2 plays and 13 seconds are off the clock, and they are almost in field goal range for Mr. Sanchez. More importantly, I think the sneaky athletic ability of Mitchell and Thatcher Shelton has really surprised this North Star Gator defense, and they've played a lot of plays. They're looking a little bit aghast, and especially because they start the second half on the field again.
Shotgun set. Curtis to the left side of Shelton. He takes the snap, throws it up the middle. It's going to be hauled in by the defender, intercepted. And they are going to say, no, it hit the turf. Wow. So Thatcher Shelton catches a break. I thought the defensive back, and that was number 8, Isaac Rabago. I thought that Rabago had hauled it in with the fingertips. But instead, the official says that it touched the turf, and Thatcher Shelton catches a break. It's 2nd and 10 with 16 seconds to play in the second quarter.
Yeah, Rabago last year was number 81. He was their starting tight end. He was having a little bit of a flashback there. Almost an excellent interception there by the senior linebacker. Really good job there.
2 wideouts each side. Noah Curtis to the left side of Thatcher Shelton. He takes the shotgun snap. Back to pass. Looking. 14 on the game clock. They throw it outside far side, and it is incomplete. They're going to say it's incomplete. That catch, or I should say that pass, was thrown a mile. That is a long throw for Thatcher Shelton. It was intended for Alex Dawes on the far sideline. And with 8 seconds to go and the ball on the 36-yard line, it's 3rd and 10 for Lincoln Southwest offense.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, that was almost, from 1 hash all the way out to the outside number. A really good job there by Thatcher Shelton to try to get to the receiver. Now you're at 3rd and 10, Nick, 8 seconds left. You know it's going to be a short route to get within striking range for Mr. Sanchez.
I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see Thatcher Shelton take off and run and just try to get maybe 5 or 6 yards here. Noah Curtis trips out to the far side, Curtis to the left side. Shelton tried to throw it up the seam, and it was an inaccurate ball intended for Stroop. And now with 5 seconds, probably the last play of the first half, also it's 4th down and 10. The field goal from here would be about 53 yards. That is a long one for Ethan Sanchez, who does have a good right foot, but might not have the leg to get it there. It's a timeout on the field. Lincoln Southwest will take their final timeout. Sanchez probably out of his range.
Yeah, he's probably about 48 yards where you feel comfortable. So that's the 5 yards that you talked about. I'm not really a big fan, Nick, of that play call without a drop. You're in a mini pistol formation for the quarterback. You didn't get any depth there, and the defense is sitting because the defense knows that you can only run a outside route, or if it's an inside route, it's going to be short. And so he unfortunately for Southwest threw it into the ground. Now you're in Hail Mary opportunity here for the Southwest Silverhawks, but it's not so bad. They got a lead going into halftime if the half ended right now, and then they start the second half with the ball with a little bit of life that they've had. But
look at this. They're going to try the field goal. Ethan Sanchez takes the field, and it's going to be a 53-yard attempt. Gators do not have anybody back in the end zone to try to return it, as this one is the kick is up. It's a line drive kick and well short. Might have been tipped at the line by Rabago. It looked like he might have gotten a mid on it. He was holding his right arm up, but that'll do it. An anticlimactic end to the first half. A first half that saw Lincoln Southwest take advantage of a Gators turnover and find the end zone. It is 10-7 at the break. We'll step aside for a couple of minutes, send it back to our 93.7 The Ticket studios for a scoreboard update before we bring it back out here and have our thoughts from the first 2 quarters of action. At the break here at Seacrest Field in week 1 of the 2025 season, Lincoln Southwest leads it 10-7 over the Gators here on 93.7 The Ticket.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first. Now is the time to get a glimpse into living and learning at Doane University through a personalized in-person or virtual visit. We know once you experience Doane, you'll see why it's a place where you can achieve your goals and shape your future. Schedule your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition. Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Welcome back to our first high school football halftime of the year. Doing things a little more on the up and up this year. We will take you live throughout halftime, provide you with all the scores and the updates that you need here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Really good game taking place at Seacrest Field. We'll get you back out to Nick Sainer and Jay Foreman here in the next 7-8 minutes or so. But for now, Austin Norman with you here in the 93.7 The Ticket studios. Alex Fern alongside helping run the board as well. Everyone on our text line say hello to Alex. As we run down the scoreboard, we'll start with yesterday's high school games. This is from the Max Preps layout. So if I am bouncing back and forth between classes, you can take it up with Max Preps, not me. Big winners, Dundee County Stratton over Perkins County, 46-16 yesterday. Hay Springs also puts up 46 points in a 46-21 win over Paxton. It was a 46-point margin for Mullen over Sandhills Valley, 54-8. And then in Class A, Lincoln Southeast blanks Grand Island. It's Knights 30 and Islanders Wood River takes down Centura 27-6. And it was York also by 21 points over Hastings, 3 touchdowns to none, 21-0. Hemingford beat South Loop 44-18. Silver Lake over Shelton 44-27. And then we get some defense being played. Superior and Fairbury 7-0. Superior takes down the Jeffs. Number 9 Elkhorn South takes care of Lincoln East in the first game of the season, 32-7. Great game up in Millard. Millard West goes on the road. The number 21 Wildcats take down the number 25 Mustangs of Millard North, 23-12. Wisner Pilger beats Lincoln, not Lincoln Lutheran. I say Lutheran, I get confused. Lutheran High Northeast in Norfolk, 44-8. It was Pete's taking down Potter Dix, 47-20. It was a romp for Omaha Westside over top 10 foe Omaha North. The second-ranked Warriors win that one going away 58-27. Creek Valley beats Minutair 59-22. In Bloomfield blanks Stanton 30-0. On to today's action in high school football. We'll give you some finals first as we have them. Pawnee City beats Meridian in a nail-biter on the road 28-22. Elkhorn Valley doubles up West Holt in a defensive battle 12-6. Stewart, no mercy. They beat both Cody and Kilgore 75-8. Chambers Wheeler Central blanks Randolph 36-0. And it's Wallace taking home an 8-point victory over Arthur County. Final score in that game 44-36. In progress right now, number 14 Bellevue West in a dogfight in the second quarter with Omaha Central. Thunderbirds lead it by a deuce 14-12. Papio South all over crosstown rival Papio 35-0 Titans over the Monarchs in the second quarter. Gretna East leads number 18 Seward by 8. It's 14-6 in the first. Fremont way ahead of Bellevue East as they approach halftime. In Fremont, it's 33-0 Tigers over the Chieftains. Lincoln Northeast holds a 35-0 advantage over Omaha Northwest as they play in the second quarter. And Elkhorn North, ranked number 12, leads Pius 12-0 here in Lincoln. Omaha Christian Academy leads Madison by 2 touchdowns. It's 20-16 as they get near to halftime. Hitchcock County leads Brady at 38-6 tally. And a great game between Pierce and Aurora at the half. It is Blue Jays 14 and Huskies 8. Certainly two familiar foes. Another great game in Class B. You have Bennington hitting the road to take on the Waverly Vikings. Vikes lead at 14-13 over the Badgers at the break. Tie game in Elkhorn. It is 14-14 between Elkhorn and Gretna. Scrolling through some more scores. Westview leads Omaha South 36-0. It's Ravenna up on Alma 26-18 in the second quarter. Archangels Catholic leads Winside 40-0. That one also in the second. At the half, Gothenburg leads Ogallala by a 7-3 count. Fort Calhoun all over Arlington in the early going, 28-0. Pioneers lead it. Number 15, Lakeview leads Gross Catholic 24-2. And it's Louisville up on Schuyler 35-0 in the second quarter. Burke over Benson 26-0 in the second as well. And no score in the early going between Yuma and Chase County. They just kicked off. One other final to give you is Lewiston over Santee. Lewiston wins that one going away. Final score of 69-7. Plenty of great action in store throughout the rest of the night. You get Bergen and Conestoga coming up. Amherst versus Donovan Trumbull. Beatrice is on the road taking on McCook. You have Norfolk Catholic ranked number 4 in their class taking on Bishop Newman. You have Roncalli and Wayne about to get started. Central City and Ord ought to be fun. Malcolm got a win last week. They're 1-0. They take on North Bend Central. Raymond Central and Fillmore Central about to start as well. Wilbur, Claytonia, and Boys Town will also keep our attention. We'll move on from our high school scoreboard. Tell you about Nebraska volleyball. The number 1 Huskers 3-set winners over Lipscomb, 25-13, 25-21, and 25-15. Huskers have no issue with the Bisons, as they are called. Is Taylor Landfair leading the way in terms of high swing hitting percentage. She has 7 kills, tied for the team lead with Harper Murray. Landfair goes 7 for 9. Murray goes 7 for 12 with 3 errors. Skylar Pierce adds 6 kills. Manaya Ogbechi adds 5, as does Andy Jackson, 5 kills on 14 swings. So the Huskers move to 3-0 on the year. They get set to take on Kentucky on Sunday. Should be a great game. Huskers as a team hit .315, hold Lipscomb to .043 for their hitting percentage. 43 digs for the Huskers, 3 service aces against just 7 errors, 5 aces, and 11 errors for the Bisons. In Major League Baseball, normally on our airwaves, but not right now, the Royals lead the Detroit Tigers. It is a 3-2 margin right now. KC put up 3 runs in the first. It was a leadoff home run by Mike Yastrzemski, becoming the first Royal with 4 leadoff home runs in a calendar month. Bobby Witt Jr. would single ahead of a Michael Garcia 2-run home run to make it 3-0 Royals in the first. Detroit would strike back with 2 in the second. Tigers currently have 2 on and 1 out in the top of the fourth. On Husker night down at the K, Jordy Ball, the ceremonial first pitch. And as we speak, actually, Detroit reclaims the lead. It is now 4-3. Tigers lead it in the top of the fourth. Moving over to college football, our nation's Army has the ball 3rd and 3 at midfield in a tie game in West Point with Tarleton State. 24-all between the Golden Knights and Tarleton State. Mid-third quarter, Michigan State leads Western Michigan 23-0. Also mid-third, it's Wake Forest trailing Kennesaw State. The Owls lead the Demon Deacs. It's 9-7, about 5.5 to play in the third quarter in Winston-Salem. App State all over Charlotte in Charlotte, 27-3. Number 12, Illinois, having no issues with Western Illinois. It's 31-0. Kansas up 29-7 on Wagner at half. Baylor back within a touchdown of Auburn. It's 17-10. Tigers, they will get the ball here with 3.5 to go before halftime. Inside the 2-minute warning in Boulder, the homestanding Buffaloes trail Georgia Tech 10-7, and Florida International is up on Bethune-Cookman. That score is 21-3 early in the second quarter. We will throw it to break. We'll send it back out to Seacrest Field. We have Nick Sainer and Jay Foreman standing by with their analysis of the first half. Can you set up for the second half next on 93.7 The Ticket?
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane University, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our long history of innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes us different. Now is your time. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals in everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane University, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our long history of innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes us different. Now is your time. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
This is a presentation of Nebraska High School football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. High school football broadcasts are powered by Edward Stone, Sunbelt Rentals, Union Bank and Trust, Doane University, Hamilton Telecommunications, Jimmy John's, Nebraska Army National Guard, Nebraska Department of Transportation Highway Safety Office, and Play It Again Sports. Now, calling all the action, here's Nick Sainert and Jay Foreman.
Thank you to Austin Orman for the scoreboard update at the half. Your score here at Seacrest, Lincoln Southwest 10, Lincoln North Star 7. A little bit of a sloppy start to this game back at kickoff, but then both sides started to settle in a little bit, and now Lincoln Southwest 10-7. They lead it by 3 over the Gators in a game that was decided by just 1 point in 2024. This one looks to be like coming down to the wire as well.
Yeah, North Star Gators show some life, especially offensively, led by Eli Schaefer to walk the ball down the field, and then obviously the hold serve, not giving up a quick 3 points there before half. More importantly, it's going to be the adjustments of this defense for the Gators to go against an offense of Southwest that with Mitchell has found the running lanes both in the inside, outside zone, and then also been able to keep them off balance with the QB waggles and some of the screens that they've been able to complete. The adjustments at halftime with this extended halftime of 18 to 20 minutes is going to be huge because momentum shifted. It seems like almost every 2 or 3 minutes. Southwest looked like they were almost going to blow the game wide open. North Star came back. What will they do with Chapman in this first game? No matter what the temperature is, Nick, this type of workload and this type of anxiety in a competitive game, you're going to get guys that cramp up. So you have to be well aware of where guys are as far as their pitch count when they go both ways, but more importantly, how to get them the ball so they're more effective in the short and long term.
Lincoln Southwest is going to get the ball to start quarter number 3, but I want to talk about the Gators offense real quick because I think that James Thompson, the head coach for the Gators, has found a system to where, okay, they like Eli Schaefer, what he can do in this game, in this matchup at quarterback, and keeping Tyrell Chapman as a wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it, about the J.C. Sievers, swing pass that ended up being to a turnover that led to Southwest's first touchdown versus when Eli Schaefer threw it, it was in front of him and he caught it in stride. But then we talked about, I think at the beginning of the second quarter, is Coach Thompson going to really use Tyrell Chapman as a receiver, slot, decoy, and then you can get him in and out of the game and let Eli Schaefer control this offense because Eli Schaefer and his man Wellstead have made a connection from the very first play all the way through the first half, and then obviously they've been getting some other guys in there. I like Schaefer at quarterback in this game to lead him, considering it's the first game. Tyrell Chapman has to do a really good job as being a punt returner / kick returner, corner, receiver, and then that offense seemed to have a little bit more rhythm with Eli at the helm and everybody else feeding off of that.
We're almost ready for kickoff here to start quarter number 3 from Seacrest Field. It's 10-7, Lincoln Southwest out in front by a field goal over the Lincoln North Star Gators as both these teams kicking things off here week 1 of the season. Let's go ahead and step aside. We'll take one more 60-second timeout. Come on back, and we will get the third quarter rolling from Seacrest Field. Nick Sainert, Jay Foreman alongside. We'll be right back here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. lincolnsouthwest.com.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in Seacrest Field as we get the third quarter rolling. Nick Sanders alongside Jay Foreman. Lincoln North Star ready to boot things in way of Lincoln Southwest. Southwest will head towards the south end zone here in quarter number 3. Lincoln North Star towards the north side of Seacrest Field. The wind at a standstill here. A beautiful night for football, a beautiful start to the high school football season. Almost said college football season. That was last night at Arrowhead Stadium. So put 12 minutes on the game clock. Lincoln North Star will boot things away. Lincoln North Star, as you mentioned, Jay, started to take the momentum late in that second quarter. They obviously had the touchdown to trim and cut into this Lincoln Southwest lead. But now Southwest has the chance to strike first in quarter number 3. A short kick fielded at the 5-yard line, and we are off and running in quarter number 3 as trying to navigate his way through number 80 for Lincoln Southwest. Jackson Mowitz, the senior, able to get it across the 20-yard line and down at the 24, and that is where Thatcher Shelton and the Lincoln Southwest offense will set up shop for the first time here in quarter number 3.
Yeah, I think, we got two young quarterbacks that maybe don't get the fanfare that you think, because obviously you got two really good quarterbacks up there in the Metro and Omaha, but two really young quarterbacks that have taken control in this game in different ways. I think Thatcher Shelton has done it, by keeping the defense off balance, where I think Eli Schaefer has really been a quick strike, big play type of quarterback. Now we're going to see who's made the most adjustments as the lights, it seemed like they went off in this field, but the sun is gone now.
It's crazy how nighttime happens. 11:55 to go in this third quarter. Thatcher Shelton keeps it off the right side. We're going to have a penalty marker as they're going to get number 6, Evan Robinson, for a hold. He kind of took his defender down to the turf and held him there as Thatcher Shelton just skirted on by. It's going to be a holding.
Evan Robinson is a two-way player, plays tight end and linebacker. I think he might have forgot that he was on offense and had a tackle there down the field. But more importantly, all jokes aside, yes, to me it seems like it's darker. Okay?
It is.
But in reality though, Nick, when you have the momentum going into halftime, I'm talking about Lincoln Southwest, because you had possession of the ball and you didn't get any points. Now you come out at the beginning of the second half when you made all adjustments at halftime. In the first play, you got a 10-yard penalty going negative. Now you're playing into North Star's hands, because Eli Schaefer potentially, if they get off the field in 3 downs, will get the ball with, on the plus side of the territory. Now you open yourself up to being down by 1 score when you're up by 1 score right now.
It was 10 yards from the spot of the foul, brings up 1st and 18. They turn, hand it off. Noah Curtis gets wrapped up and taken down. Number 74, Jamal Little, gets in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 on first down. Noah Curtis taken down, 2nd down and 22 coming up.
Yeah, right now, Jamal Little came up big right there, and the big man has been going both ways, and he's cramping up a little bit. But now if you're Lincoln Southwest, now you're in emergency conservative play calling based on the first play. We always talk about cause and effect, Nick, when we do these games. That holding penalty, even though it doesn't seem like a big deal in the first half, it's a huge deal in the second half, because it comes down to possessions and quality possessions as well. 2nd
down and 22 now as Lincoln Southwest behind schedule. 2nd and 22 from their own 12. Thatcher Shelton back to pass, throwing down the field to Stroop. It's out of his reach as he was guarded in coverage by number 11, Owen Wiltshire. Also in the vicinity was Kobe Allen, who was coming over from his safety spot.
Yeah, Owen Wilshire better get it out of his back pedal because Strope had not only one step but two steps on him. Shelton was a little bit overzealous where you saw him make some separation, threw it a little bit too hard, a little bit more loft right there. It might have been, what would that have been, an 88-yard touchdown.
Could have dropped it in the bucket here, but now Lincoln North Star licking their chops as it's 3rd down and 22, 59 seconds into the third quarter. 3rd and 22 from the Lincoln Southwest 12-yard line. A chance for the Gators to get off the field and force a 3-and-out. We have a penalty flag and a delay of game, and Lincoln Southwest could not look more discombobulated to start the third.
We've seen this before, Nick. We've seen this movie before. Burn timeouts, unnecessary penalties. When we saw it was at the beginning of the game in last year, and it really stymied them, I think, against North Star to win the game when they end up losing by 1. So right now, when you think about it, Nick, before halftime, we talked about North Star's defense potentially being gassed. Now they have a jolt of energy because they potentially could be getting off the field here.
3rd and 27, Thatcher Shelton has to keep it himself. He's taken down for, guess what, another loss of a few yards. Lincoln North Star trying to assert themselves in the trenches, at least defensively. Lincoln Southwest was trying to just give themselves some room to breathe when they punt this ball away, but instead it works reverse, and they lose 3 yards. It's now 4th and a literal mile here at their own 4-yard line. They're going to have to punt it with their heels on the end zone line.
Yeah, well, the problem is, Nick, is Luke Mitchell is their punter, right? But guess who he's punting to? Louis Wellstead. This is not the guy that you want to be sitting at the 44-yard line, fresh and energized.
This punt, it's a high, short kick. It's going to be fielded, fair catch signaled for, and it is hauled in at the 40-yard line of Lincoln Southwest. Not a bad punt by any means, a 36-yard punt, and no return by Lincoln North Star. They fair catch it at the Silverhawks 40. So good job by Lincoln North Star's defense. They got helped out a little bit by the penalties for Lincoln Southwest's offense, but they didn't give up a big play on 3rd and long or 2nd and long. They force a 3-and-out, and Lincoln North Star takes over 1st and 10 with incredible field position.
Really good job there on that last defensive series there by number 0, Marcus Wynn. Really beat the right tackle with the inside move and got a sack there. But more importantly, North Star Gators, you have to take advantage of the opportunities that the Southwest has afforded you. Now they have the momentum if they're able to get points on the board.
Here is J.C. Sievers. He's trying to bounce the first down handoff outside to the right side. He gets outside the hash marks and is taken down by a duo of Silverhawk defenders in on the stop. One of them was number 44 for Lincoln Southwest, Gavin Rathbun. Also in on the stop, number 24, Zach Teague.
Yeah, I think right now, if I'm Coach Thompson, this might be 4-down territory because we like the way our defense has been energized, but more importantly, we like what we're doing offensively. And so you can deal with that 2-yard gain because when it first started, it could have been a negative yard gain. Good job there by JC turning something into nothing or nothing into something.
2nd down and 8 from the 38 of Lincoln Southwest. The second play from scrimmage for the Gators offense here in the third quarter. Shotgun snap, and we have a neutral zone infraction, or at least an offsides. They might, if they call this on North Star, I'd be surprised. Lincoln Southwest is pleading their case. It is going to be an offsides against Lincoln Southwest. It looks like number 56 for the Silverhawks. That's Jackson Umbenhauer. He jumped a little early, got in that neutral zone, and they called it dead.
Yeah, he tried to point. Nick, that's what they always tell you. When you jump outside to point at the other opposition, it's their fault. But when we just talked about the 2-yard gain by North Star, you could deal with it because it could potentially be 4-down territory. Now, obviously, they got to protect against the field goal block of the Southwest Silverhawks. But now you potentially can make a field goal decision if you get closer to the end zone.
9 minutes and 21 seconds to go in the third quarter. 2nd down and short, 2nd and 3 for the Gators offense. Shotgun set, one running back to the left hip. They turn, handed off J.C. Sievers. So up the middle he goes. He gets upended around the line of scrimmage and gets flipped to the 31-yard line rather. It's now 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, good job there by Gavin Rothman turning around and stopping that JC for a 2-yard gain, a physical hit, and they're trying to defend against 3 points. But more importantly, they do not want to give up this first down, potentially that they're going to make North Star punt the ball and get the ball back to their offense.
8:42 to go in the third quarter. It's 3rd and inches. They're at the 30.5-yard line. They need to get to the 30. Shotgun set. Schaefer with Sievers to his right side, 2 wideouts each side. They take the shotgun snap, pass out left side, and it is Wellstead. He wasn't expecting the ball to be thrown his way. It actually hit him when he was looking away from it, and now Wellstead comes up limping a little bit, and he hobbles to the sideline. But now it's 4th and inches, and if anything, that play call told you we're going to go for it if you're Lincoln North Star on 4th down.
Yeah, Wellstead has stopped a little bit. I think his leg cramped up, and he still was open, almost caught it there on the rebound off his chest. And so now it's still 4th down in 4 down territory. Now what's the play call? Do you roll the dice and think JC Sievers can get it on a little bit of a running back take, or do you let Eli Schaefer throw to the plethora of receivers out here, including Tyrell Chapman?
I wouldn't be surprised to see. I mean, another thing you could do if you're James Thompson, who calls a timeout with 8:27 to go in the third. I mean, do you hate the idea of allowing Chapman to line up under center and just take it?
No, I don't hate the idea. I love the idea. One, it gives, the Southwest Silverhawks defensive coaches something else to think about. More importantly, it gives a lot of confidence to the other guys on the offense that you can get the first down. But more importantly, Tyrell Chapman is a capable thrower of the football. There's just certain routes when you don't play quarterback all the time that I necessarily wouldn't call with the skill set of Tyrell Chapman. And it also is a sneaky good time out there by Coach Thompson. Potentially, if you get Westland back, I know he's cramping up trying to get stretched out right here. You could get all your playmakers back when you come out of the timeout.
8:27 to go in the third quarter. It's 10-7 Lincoln Southwest. They lead it by 3 over Lincoln North Star. Lincoln North Star, though, forced a 3-and-out on the Silverhawks' first possession of the second half. They had the ball to start this possession at the Silverhawks 40-yard line, and now it's 4th and inches from the 31.
Yeah, this is a crucial part of the game. Where Southwest has came out and they did not look good offensively. Gave up a whole bunch of negative yards and allowed North Star to be in potentially scoring range. Now it's 4th and inches. Now, could you get the momentum back potentially right now, but for the rest of the game, if you get a big 4th down stop here.
And here's Tyrell Chapman lining up in shotgun formation with Sievers off to his left side. I wouldn't be surprised to see a quarterback power here. They roll it to the left. Now he skirts up the middle, and he is going to be stopped short. Lincoln Southwest is able to stonewall Tyrell Chapman. They may have forced a fumble, but either way, Lincoln Southwest is taking over on downs. It's 1st and 10 at their own 32.
Yeah, a huge call there or a big play there by Lincoln Southwest Silverhawks in that defense. Ever since the second play of the game where they almost caused the fumble, they have tried to overwhelm North Star Gators with their physicality and their pursuit to the football. That's why when you're thinking about the play that you would run with Tyrell Chapman, wouldn't necessarily be the old Green Bay sweep. It would be more the RPO to slow them down, and particularly you just option off of that end, put the hand in Tyrell Chapman, put the ball in Tyrell Chapman's hands, let him make a good decision. Worst case scenario, you would have got the first down. When you're running side to side against a really aggressive defense that's had a lot of time to rest, was probably not the best idea or best play call there for the Gators.
So Southwest takes over 1st and 10 on their own 31. Shotgun snap to Thatcher Shelton, who rolls right. Now he backpedals, looking downfield, going to take a shot to Alex Dawes. It's out of reach of Dawes. It was closer to the defender, as that was Owen Wiltshire, the sophomore defensive back. He got beat last possession. That time he was actually a couple of steps ahead of Alex Dawes. The intended receiver was closer to catching that football than the Silverhawks receiver was, but it falls incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
Good job there, Wilshire learning from a little bit of a mistake in the first half, and he played he ran the route better than Dawes did. But I like the aggressive play call there by Southwest. Look, you just really were sputtering offensively. You got almost essentially a turnover when it's a turnover and downs. Let's say we can get a quick 6 points or 7 points here while running a 9 route.
8:17 to play, third quarter. It's 10-7 Southwest. They turn handed off. Here's the handoff on 2nd and 10, and barreling his way forward is the running back. I believe that was Luke Mitchell. It was Luke Mitchell with the carry, brings up 3rd down and manageable. It's going to be about 3rd and 4 from the 37-yard line.
Yeah, Luke Mitchell is taking advantage of his first time of jumping into that star role on the Southwest Silverhawks offense, and that's that I-back role. He is running behind his pads. He is making the most of his opportunities, and it seems to me that he's getting stronger, and the running game is getting stronger as the game starts to get longer. So if North Star Gators don't start getting off the field defensively, you can see Southwest just lean on that running game.
There are 3 Gators players right now getting stretched on the sideline for cramps. Here on third down and short, Mitchell taken down in the backfield after he was given the handoff. He tried to bounce it out to the left side, something that he's had success with to this point in the ball game. But how about number 72 for the Lincoln North Star Gators? Aiden Martin, the junior defensive lineman, came from the backside and took Mitchell down from behind for a loss of 2. It brings up 4th down and 6, and Lincoln
Huge
Southwest
play.
has to punt it away.
That was a huge play. Both the defenses have stepped up when they need them the most and made 2 potentially game-changing plays of a turnover and downs, but a big tackle loss there by Aiden, or tackle for loss there by Aiden. Let's see what North Star Gators do offensively versus what they did in the first possession.
Low snap on the punt. It's fumbled, and Mitchell, his punt is going to be tipped. It's a very short kick, barely gets across midfield. It's going to bounce now in favor of the Gators, and it'll be, once again, Lincoln North Star taking over on the plus side of the 50 on the Silverhawks 49-yard line with 6:43 to play in the third. Lincoln Southwest dodging bullet after bullet. It's not necessarily a great play, but it could have been so much worse.
Yeah, it could have. It could have been a block punt, a return for a touchdown. A good job there, I think, by Luke Mitchell of getting it off there. More importantly, Nick, now the game's 10-7, right? And if we sat back and look at the whole landscape of the game, right, who's playing good, who's not, even though Southwest is winning the game, you probably say North Star has probably outplayed them from start to finish, but the only thing that matters is obviously on the scoreboard.
6:43 to go as North Star takes over on offense, and once again, Eli Schaefer is back out there at quarterback. 1st and 10 after the Gators had to turn it over on downs. Last time out there here earlier in the third. Schaefer, quick pass. It's tipped and it's knocked away, rather dropped by Rabago, and it falls incomplete as it falls to the turf. 2nd and 10 coming up. That's probably one that Rabago should have held on to.
Yeah, that play was probably dead in the water. We had a late substitution there by number 15, Kason Hallett. Kind of threw off the timing of the whole play. Now he's out of the game, but even though that happened, Eli Schaefer did a really good job of getting the ball or potentially getting the ball to Isaac. Generally a sure-handed catcher at the tight end position. You're definitely right. He'd like that one back, but you got Tyrell Chapman down here at the bottom of the screen. Let's see if they try to get a 50-yard touchdown here.
2nd down and 10 from the 49-yard line of Lincoln Southwest. Schaefer back to pass, quick pass out right side, knocked away. Good job in pursuit by number 0. That is Micah Jessen. He came in from the backside on a slant route and was able to get his left arm in the traffic in the lane and tip that pass away. It's now 3rd and 10. So Lincoln Southwest defense continues to answer the call to this point, especially here in the third.
Yeah, they've done a really good job of when their back is against the wall. They've leaned on that defensive line and that continuity that they've had over there with Coach Burks that's been there for almost 20 years. Really good job there by Jessen coming out of his break from the linebacker position and causing a drop pass by the Gator receiver right there.
6:36 to go, 3rd and 10. A chance for Southwest to get their offense back out on the field. Here's the pass on 3rd down, up the seam. It's tipped, and it is knocked away. Trying to thread the needle and get the pass to Rabago was Eli Schaefer, the quarterback, down the middle of the field in the middle of 3 Southwest defenders. Also in on coverage, Brody Jones for the Silverhawks. It falls incomplete, and we're going to have a North Star punt.
Yeah, we talked about Southwest Silverhawks defense stepping up when their backs against the wall and really, really shutting down this Gator offense when they need to be. Now the Gator offense coming over a little bit dejected. 2 possessions in the first half. You really were cooking with peanut oil, had opportunity to score both times, come away with 0 points. They have to regroup. Sometimes when you have premeditated, passes that you're going to go to or players you're going to pass it to, it can turn out in the worst way.
And now making matters worse, Lincoln North Star, a high snap on the punt, and it is going to have to just be fallen on and covered inside the 30-yard line. And so Lincoln Southwest, man, they just continue to have things gifted to them. And they're going to take over now inside the Gators' 30-yard line and down at the 28. It's going to be 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Yeah, Nick, the difference between Southwest and maybe North Star is that when you look on the sideline, the amount of players, right? And Southwest has a bigger, amount of players or a larger amount of players on their sidelines. Most of the North Star players go both ways. So when you have a turnover on special teams, the defense is out there again. You have to really learn how to conserve your team in the energy. Now, when you look at it also, right, Tyrell Chapman, right, everything corner, going to be all state. He's in the Super 6 in the preseason. he's not out there in corner. He have a backup corner out there in number 11 who hasn't played all game. Well, he has Owen Wilshire in substitution fashion, but right now they might attack him again.
Here's Shelton, back to pass, throws it back the other way. It's hauled in, inside the 20, inside the 15. Trucking the defender is number 6, Evan Robinson. He said, hello, good afternoon, good night, nice to meet you. Let me run you over for a first down.
Nick, what did I say? When Wilshire is in there, what do they do? They're going to attack him. Maybe not with the go route, but what they do, they ran a little bit of a crossing route, tight end delay, and it was nature versus nurture when Evan Robinson and Wilshire met. Good job by Wilshire hanging on for the tackle, but now you see where Southwest is trying to attack. They're trying to get a free 7 points to maybe put one of the nails in the coffin against their heated crosstown rival, the North Star Gators.
1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. 5:50 to go in the third quarter. Southwest trying to extend their 7-point lead. Here is Noah Curtis, lowers the left shoulder, and he's tackled at the numbers on the near side after a gain of maybe 2 up to the 10-yard line.
Right now, if I'm the North Star Gators, we're trying to step up and bowl it one more time, hold them to a field goal attempt. You think you got the momentum back if you're able to do that, because then it still makes it into a one-score game, assuming Tyrell Chapman, Westland, and the rest of the skill position guys from North Star will be back.
5:18 to go in the third quarter. Lincoln Southwest leads by 3, 10-7. The ball is placed at the 10-yard line of Lincoln North Star. 2nd down and 8. I formation. Noah Curtis is the running back. One wide out to each side, and Grant Tranowitz, the Lincoln Southwest head coach, has to talk things over. Let's step aside, come back in 30 seconds here on 93.7 The Ticket.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Seacrest Field. 5:03 to play in the third quarter. It's 10-7. Lincoln Southwest with a 3-point lead. Lincoln Southwest has the football, knocking on the door of extending this 3-point advantage. They have the ball at the 10-yard line. 2nd down and 8. They're going to come out I formation. Noah Curtis is the running back. One wide out each side. Number 15, Jacob Terwillinger, is at the bottom. They toss it left side. It's going to be a reverse. Now a wide receiver. This is not going well for Lincoln Southwest. Getting tackled all the way back behind the 20-yard line was number 25, Kevin Richardson. Jay, no reason to get cute there as he's tackled now at the 23-yard line.
Yeah. Nate, I agree with you 100%.
You don't know why? Jake Sorensen just texted me, and so
there's no reason to get cute like that coming out of a timeout, because you had the advantage. You have a really good kicker in Sanchez. It's almost a guaranteed 3 points there. At that point in time, you were at the 15-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're 3rd and 22. You're making it now, if you don't get a yard, a 41-yard field goal into a slight win.
4:15 to play. Shelton back to pass looking. His wide receiver wasn't even looking back his way. And now Lincoln Southwest is going to hope that the right foot of Ethan Sanchez can save him here and get them some points.
Nick, do you feel that?
The winds
of change
there it
are
is.
Starting to change. I haven't used it yet, but I feel a little bit of breeze coming in right past that big waterhead. Woof! The winds of change have went right to North Star Gator sideline. Listen to this. You talking about breathing a sigh of relief.
Mm-hmm.
You fumble a snap on the punt. You've already muffed 2 possessions to get easy points.
Yep.
Now, if you can hold them to 3 points, it's one score game.
The 41-yard field goal attempt is up. It has enough leg, and it is good. And now we have a penalty marker on the play. They're going to get it either running or roughing into the kicker. If it's roughing, it's an automatic first down. If it's running, it will not be. We'll see what the official word is here. The field goal was good from 41 yards. That had plenty of leg on it. Nice job by Ethan Sanchez.
Yeah, but Sanchez is a little hurt right now, so that's even more important that Mr. Sanchez is able to, finish out this game, because he is a weapon as far as Southwest has kind of sputtered all game offensively, but been able to take enough opportunity or take advantage of the opportunities, the numerous opportunities that the North Star Gators are given to the Southwest Silverhawks.
They're talking to Grant Tranowitz, and they're seeing what he wants to do. I would imagine,
You just
obviously,
take the 3 points, right?
Well, not if it's a roughing the kicker. Yeah, it's going to be personal foul. It looks like Lincoln Southwest is going to be able to bring their offense back out here. So it's roughing the kicker, and so it'll be 15 yards from the spot of the foul. And with that, it should make it first and 10 from the 12-yard line, automatic first down.
Wow, Nick. Now, let's ask you again. College football 2K, would you go for the block there? Considering the outcome?
Why not? Be more disciplined. 10-7. They toss it left side. Here is the running back, loss of 1 yard. It looks like that was number 34, Cam Rakowski. First time we've called Rakowski's name here tonight, and it comes in a pretty crucial spot later in the third quarter. 3:51 to go, and Southwest leads by just 3.
Nick, the reason why I asked you that is because the 41-yard field goal into a slight win, even though Sanchez is an established kicker, and it's third and 22 or 4th and 22, you're not trying to go run into the kicker, but it's a subjective call. Now you have their defense back out there, and it seems like you haven't touched the ball for 20 minutes, even though you've had 2 possessions in the third quarter.
We're under 3.5 to go in quarter number 3. Pistol formation, 2 wideouts near side. They turn, they fake the handoff. Thatcher Shelton dumps it off near side. It's hauled in by Milius, and Milius is spun around and taken down for a loss of 2. Back at the 16, we kept talking about how Lincoln Southwest defense continued to bow up.
Yeah.
How about the Gators here?
They're doing a really good job, but I'll call it sudden change, right? Suddenly you thought you were only down by 6 points. Now you're down by 3, and your back is against the wall once again. Good job there by London Stager, coming up out of coverage, defeating a block and tackling a bigger, stronger, faster Milius to keep it at 3rd and 14. Now this right here, Nick, is a big moment here for the North Star Gators. Your offensive weaponry should be back refreshed and cramp free. We'll see what they do once they get the ball back.
Here's the snap on 3rd down. Shelton looking left side. It's thrown up the middle. Here is the wide receiver Stroop, and Stroop will be tackled inside the 10 down at the 6. It's going to be maybe 3 yards shy of the first down marker. And it looks like Lincoln Southwest will bring Ethan Sanchez back out onto the field and attempt a much shorter field goal this time. It is only going to be about a 24-yarder here right from the middle of the field.
Yeah, right now you're still at the same place, but your defense is out there for another 3 or 4 minutes. So we always talk about the body blows that Lincoln Southwest used to, put on people in the first, second, third quarter, pay off in the fourth quarter. They're doing the same now to the Lincoln North Star Gators.
Here's the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is no good. Ethan Sanchez pulled it left, and how about that?
How about that? I can't wait to see you do that tomorrow morning. That was a hooded 6-iron that went into the lake on number 17 by you with your club. Right there, that was actually a coaching, not a coaching mistake, but a coaching learning lesson. Take the 3 points when you know you have the 3 points.
So you would take, I want to, so as we have a stop and play.
Yeah, because I'm
you would
talking
take
about the
the
outcome.
3 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, now hindsight's 2020. You'd love the 3 points right now
That's
from
why
the
I got
41-yard
LASIK
field goal.
is 2020.
I understand that. You
No,
still
I-
must
no,
not.
no.
You have to take the automatic first
You
down.
had to take the automatic first down, but would you have called it? I would have called a different play call. But more importantly, you don't expect Sanchez to miss a chip shot.
Exactly.
Now let's see what North Star Gators do.
First
Don't
and
be mad
10.
'cause you're going to get your hot rocket tomorrow.
First and 10 from the 20. North Star takes over, and we have a stop. And guess what? A delay of game. This is the 4th delay of game on Lincoln North Star here today. We're not even through 3 quarters of action.
Yeah, I think the delay of game came from, I think it's number 58 or 59 over there, going both ways, cramped up a little bit. The backup lineman wasn't ready to get into the game, so there's a little bit of delay there. 5-yard penalty, but Eli Schaefer feels like he can lead this North Star Gator offense down the field.
Minute 51 to go in the third quarter. 10-7 Lincoln North Star. They take over now. 1st and 15 from their own 15-yard line. Shotgun snap. Here is Schaefer back to pass. Looking left side. He's going to take a shot near sideline, and it's Tyrell Chapman hauling it in over the shoulder. Wow. They're going to say he got his foot in bounds. I think that's the right call. In coverage, number 34, Cam Rakowski lost Chapman It was behind him. He started backpedaling, and North Star is across midfield at the Silverhawks 46.
Yeah, he beat double coverage there. They tried to roll the coverage over there to him on the wide side of the field. You knew exactly what Coach Thompson wanted to do when Tyrell came into the game.
1st and 10 now from the 46-yard line. North Star trailing by 3. Schaefer back to pass. He finds Wiltshire coming across the center of the field from the right side, and he hauls it in for a gain of 3 on the short pass completion. Brings up 2nd down and 7. 1:21 to go in the third quarter. North Star trailing by 3, but they have the ball in enemy territory on the plus side of the 50 at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, really good job there by Schaefer coming back and hitting the big receiver Wilshire. Now you see North Star Gators bringing in a lot of younger players. So you're looking for Kobe Allen maybe to get going. He had that spectacular catch in the first half. Let's see if he can get one in the second half.
2nd and 7, shotgun snap back to pass. Here's Schaefer, dump off screen, and getting lit up in the backfield near the original line of scrimmage was the receiver, number 33, J.C. Sievers, who's slow to get up. But as Jay mentioned, the quarterback, Eli Schaefer, tackled after he threw the pass, and it's going to be roughing the passer. And this one, in favor of the Gators, will probably move 15 yards closer to pay dirt.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're playing through the echo of the whistle, and there's been a little bit of chippiness, and he got caught right there. So generally, you want your defensive lineman to finish plays, but I think it was a little bit late there on Mr. Schaefer. Now it's essentially an explosive play, a free first down. Momentum is definitely on North Star Gators sideline. Here's something really sneaky here, Nick. North Star has Kobe Allen and a bunch of young, inexperienced players in there because Tyrell Chapman and I think Louis Westland is out. He's trying to warm back up there. He's been dealing with cramps ever since the middle of the second quarter. If they can get these guys to finish the game, they potentially could push themselves over the edge.
1st and 10 after the penalty, dump off far side. It's hauled in. There goes Anderson inside the 15, inside the 10. Touchdown, Lincoln North Star.
Nick, one thing that happens here. Now, look, you got 3 defenders over there. Look like the 3 amigos over there. They all ran into each other and they all cramped. As much as we talked about North Star dealing with the cramps, extending drives wear teams out, and the depth at the skill position, not the lines, has really played in favor for the North Star Gators.
From 28 yards out, Josh Anderson on a swing pattern up the far side, just outside the hash marks, accelerated inside the numbers, skirted through some defenders, and weaved his way into the end zone for a touchdown. And with 35 seconds to go in the third quarter, the Gators take a 13-10 lead.
Yeah, Nick, we talked about this, right? You know, we talked about the made field goal, right? Then you get the free first down, the missed field goal. But before that, right, Southwest, maybe the clock struck 12 a little bit. You started the first half with 2 not so good drives. North Star stubbed their toe. You get essentially a little bit of a bonehead penalty, roughing the quarterback. Next thing you know, a simple swing pass when you have 3 defenders there. North Star is winning right now.
14-10 your score. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome back in. Nick Sainert, Jay Foreman from Seacrest Field. Lincoln North Star has taken a 4-point lead with 35 seconds to go in the third quarter over the Silverhawks. The Silverhawks led at halftime 10-7. Lincoln Southwest actually had the ball at one point to start a possession here in the third quarter at the Gators' 28-yard line, but then a missed field goal from 23 yards out allowed Lincoln North Star to get the football back. They took a big strike to Tyrell Chapman up the near sideline, and then, as Jay mentioned, on a screen pass, roughing the passer penalty, charged to Lincoln Southwest, and on the very next play from the 28-yard line, a pitch and catch to Josh Anderson, the senior running back, took it up the far sideline and in for 6. It's 14-10 with 35 seconds to go in the third quarter. Lincoln Southwest going to need to answer. We mentioned it. The winds have changed. The momentum, you could hear it and you could feel it sway towards the North Star sideline. And here, Lincoln Southwest will get the football back in the final moments of quarter number 3.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Southwest comes up offensively. It's essentially been Luke Mitchell or bust for them offensively. They had one big play to stroke, but they haven't been able to sustain a drive. Everything has been off the back of North Star Gator mistakes.
Here comes Umbenhauer up the middle of the field. He has an opening up across the 30-yard line and down at the 32. And that is where Lincoln Southwest will set up shop. Thatcher Shelton, who's had himself a decent day. He's missed a couple of throws that he probably would like to have back. But it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. And one thing that we haven't seen be as successful here in the third quarter, Jay, that was successful, especially in the later stages of the first half, was the Luke Mitchell running the football outside of the hashes.
Yeah, we said it earlier in the third quarter. Don't get cute, right? Got a little too cute, and you went away from your bread and butter. Now let's see if they get back to it, because they were making chunks of yards on the ground, but more importantly, imposing their will on a smaller Gator defense.
Shelton, quick pass out on the out route to Alex Dawes is hauled in right outside the 40-yard line to the 41. It's a gain of 8 on first down, 2nd and 2. A nice easy pitch and catch for Thatcher Shelton. And if you're head coach Grant Tranowitz here in the final moments of the third quarter, I think they're going to let this one tick down and go into quarter number 4. In the final moments here, that's how you got to get back into a rhythm offensively.
I like that play call coming right out, the easy pitch and catch, from Thatcher to Dawes. Dawes is a really good player. He's a two-way player. He obviously is a safety, been making plays all night. Really good route right there. Good coverage, but a better route, better pitch and catch. Confidence getting back to your quarterback and your offense there for Southwest.
Let's step aside, 60-second break, and we begin the fourth quarter on the other side. It's 14-10 North Star, Southwest with the football to start the final period from Seacrest Field when we come back on the ticket.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want, because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day, because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Welcome back into Seacrest Field on 2nd down and short. Luke Mitchell takes it up the middle for a short gain of 1 on the play. 3rd down and 1 coming up. This is a big play coming up for the Lincoln Southwest offense, Jay. Nick Sander, Jay Foreman alongside Austin Orman back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. 3rd and short, 11.5 to go in the ball game. Lincoln Southwest hit with a little bit of adversity here in the early stages of the fourth quarter. Big 3rd down coming up.
You'd like to think Lincoln Southwest feels that they can lean on their bigger and stronger offensive line to get 1 yard and obviously keep control of the clock here early in the fourth quarter.
They turn, handed off. Luke Mitchell up the middle. He would have had the first down, but a penalty marker on the play.
Wow.
And a false start is going to make it 3rd and 6 coming up for the Lincoln Southwest offense.
That changes the whole complexity of this game in this series of downs here. False start right there really allows North Star to play a little bit more base defense versus a jumbo defense against that big offensive line on 3rd and short. It'll be interesting to see what is the play call. Do you go back to Luke Mitchell because you're kind of backed up right now, or do you try to throw at the stroke on the seam route? So something has to give here offensively for the Lincoln Southwest Silverhawks.
Yeah, we've seen them, especially to Stroop, who's lined up in the slot. He likes to work that seam. Let's see what happens
Dawes
here.
At the boundary here, not anybody covering him up.
3rd and medium on its Dawes. It's hauled in across the 40, just shy of that first down marker. Decision time for Grant Tranowitz. It's going to be 4th down and about a full yard, maybe a half a yard from the 42-yard line, and it looks like Thatcher Shelton is pleading his case to keep the offense on the field.
Clock isn't running.
They went out of bounds on that pass play, and so it is now going to be 4th and 1, and they're going to keep the Lincoln Southwest offense on the field.
We might have to burn a timeout here.
There's a little bit of miscommunication, late substitution. Once again, Jacob Terwillinger is late getting into the play, and they got to burn a timeout. As James called it, that is the 2nd timeout of the half. And you wonder, in a one-possession game, as the clock continues to tick away and we get into the later stages, Those are valuable timeouts.
Yeah, they're valuable timeouts, especially if you're down. If you're going like with 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left, and you're down by 4 points, you need that extra timeout to extend the game. Right now, you had to burn one because, number one, it looked like the head coach had decided to punt it. The players wanted to go for it. Of course, the player wants to go for it. Then you have a mishap in the substitutions. Now you have to burn the timeout early into the fourth quarter. It doesn't matter if it's Lincoln Youth Football, Omaha Youth Football, middle school football. I don't know if they play that in Nebraska, but then you got high school football, college, and pros. Clock management, timeout management always plays a key role in the outcome of the game.
11:03 out of the Lincoln Southwest timeout. Out of the timeout. No excuse not to be able to get a yard here, especially when you had time to talk things over on that Southwest sideline. They need 1 yard. They got to get to the 43-yard line. Pistol formation. They turn. They hand it off. It's a first down as Noah Curtis barrels his way across that first down line to gain. He gets 2 yards to spare, and it's going to be 1st and 10. Lincoln Southwest able to get enough push up front.
Yeah, that was a good job there by Noah Curtis putting his foot in the ground, and he's kind of the bruising running back out of the combination with him and Luke Mitchell. Good job there by Southwest, not only getting the first down, keeping control of the clock, and keeping the momentum on their side of the field. Let's see if they can finish off this drive.
1st and 10 from the 45-yard line, their own 45-yard line, that is. 2 wideouts near side. 2 tight ends out there as well, running back to the left side. They're going to keep it with the quarterback. Thatcher Shelton has nowhere to go. He gets taken down for a loss of 1 on the play. Once again, number 74, Jamal Little, as well as number 50, that is Tess Tadude, as they are both in on the stop for Lincoln North Star.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the best play call there is a quarterback sweep where with Shelton going to the boundary or Thatcher Shelton going to the boundary without a lead blocker, but good job there by Jamal Little eating that play up, but then also getting a tackle for loss. So then you're able to get, you talk about being on time and being on schedule for an offense. Being on schedule for a defense is getting 1 negative play per series.
3 wideouts far side. Shelton looking that way. He tries to throw an out route to Gavin Stroop. It goes through his mitts, incomplete.
Yeah.
Good job in coverage by Lincoln North Star over there on the far side outside the numbers. And now that brings up 3rd down and 11.
Yeah, with the ball in the left hash, I like the play call, but I don't like it right then because, Nick, you're throwing from the left hash to the right hash in against the wind and against your body. A little bit of a high right there for the young quarterback, Thatcher Shelton.
Lincoln North Star going a little bigger on this 3rd down and 11. They bring in Jonah Hill. They bring out Jamison Lance. Excuse me, as it's 3rd down and 11 from their own 44-yard line. 2 wideouts each side. The pass back to Shelton. He has to roll, evade pressure, has some room to work, throws off balance. It's hauled in. Gavin Stroop right across the first down marker in enemy territory across the 45-yard line of Lincoln North Star and down at the 43. A nice athletic play by the quarterback, Thatcher Shelton.
Thatcher Shelton did a really good job of pausing before he started to break the pocket. Threw excellent on the run. Some quarterbacks break the pocket, look to run. He looks to pass. Really good execution and even better catch there by Stroop coming back and catching it for the first down.
1st and 10 now from the Lincoln North Star 43-yard line. The Gators trail by 4. It's 14-10. Lincoln North Star leads by 4, 14-10. 1st and 10, shotgun snap. The snap back to Shelton, gets pressured. He runs out right side, throws across his body, finds his receiver at the numbers, and is able to be taken down. Alex Dawes answering the call once again, and it's another first down.
Yeah, all it is Thatcher Shelton taking advantage of North Star Gators being a little bit gassed, and they're doing the worst thing that you can do defensively is lose the edge. And they're allowing a quarterback to roll out to the right, the defense is left, and he is throwing nothing but darts being on the run, throwing to his right tonight.
14-10 is your score. North Star out in front of Lincoln Southwest, but Southwest, after converting on a 4th down play a few moments ago, they're driving inside the Gators' 30-yard line at the 27. 1st and 10 with 8:40 to go in the ball game. Snap back, Shelton looking, throws off his back foot. It's caught by Dawes inside the 5. He loses his helmet, but he still hauls it in. It's going to be 1st and goal. I think that pass was actually intended for Stroop, but Stroop got bumped. It could have been a pass interference call on Lincoln North Star, but how about Alex Dawes? He was in the vicinity. He hauls it in, and it's 1st and goal from the 5.
Yeah, how quickly that momentum changes. Obviously, I think a big part of this game is the Lincoln North Star Gators down in numbers. Everybody's starting to cramp. Obviously, you see Jamal Little down here as well, Tyrell Chapman, Louis Westland as well. That's how you start to give up explosive plays. More importantly, that's how you give up explosive plays by losing the edge and not containing the football. So now their backs against the wall, see if they can stop him once again.
Here's Curtis. He slips, tries to get his balance, and barely gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 2nd and goal again from the 5. They lined up in the I formation, handed it off to the right side just on a dive play. And Curtis, who tried to bounce it back towards the middle rather than going towards the right hash, he kind of slipped as he planted his foot, and he slipped, got his balance back, and just kind of retreated back to the original line of scrimmage. 2nd and goal now from the 5-yard line. 7:41 to go in the 4th quarter. Week 1 of high school football. Nick Sainert, Jay Foreman alongside here at Seacrest Field. Beautiful night to kick off the season. Another I formation as Noah Curtis once again lined up. Stroop is the lone wide out on the far side. They turn. They're going to turn. It's going to be play action. Looking across his body. He has his tight end. He floats it over the top. He hauls it in, but he's going to say he was out of bounds.
Wow.
Number 6, Evan Robinson, didn't know where he was in relation to the sideline, and he caught it with a foot outside the boundary. And that we saw that earlier where it was actually an incomplete pass. Thatcher Shelton tried it again. This time it's an incomplete pass. He lobbed it, but too far to the sideline. Evan Robinson caught it with a foot out of bounds, and it's now 3rd and goal from the 5.
Yeah, right now Lincoln North Star is thinking we need one more stop, maybe even 2 more plays, depending on how the first one goes. And so you're trying to hold this Lincoln Southwest Silverhawk offense to 3 points and still have the lead.
7:19 to go in the 4th quarter. 2 wideouts each side.
Ooh.
Here's the snap back. Shelton looking right side, trying to get it to Stroop. Unable to do so, but a penalty flag is thrown late. There's the near pylon, or excuse me, the official on the far pylon who was looking right at it did not throw the flag. The official that threw the penalty was standing by the goalpost in the back of the end zone. He must have seen something from the defender from the back side on the out route, and Lincoln Southwest might be bailed out with a pass interference call here on that 3rd down incompletion. It is going to be a pass interference on Lincoln North Star, and so half the distance to the goal puts it at the 2.5-yard line. 1st and goal for Lincoln Southwest.
That's a huge call considering that the ball was not really catchable. It must have been pass interference early in the route. You know, obviously they ran that stick route, which Dawes runs really well, had good tight coverage, but probably a little bit too handsy. And so now we're going to see what Lincoln's North Star comes up with against this bigger, stronger, and potentially more physical Southwest offensive line.
I need to correct myself. They called it a defensive hold, and so therefore it's not a automatic 1st down. It's going to be 3rd and goal now from the 2.5-yard line. Under center, Thatcher Shelton. Fumble on the play. It's recovered by North Star. Going the other way. 1 man to beat as Thatcher Shelton chases him down from behind and taken down at the 45-yard line. Noah Curtis took the handoff, and he bobbled it on the exchange. He fumbled it, taking it up the far sideline. Lincoln North Star, as they did miss a false start. And if you're Lincoln Southwest, you're saying you should have called the penalty on us because it would have been dead ball and you get another crack at it.
Shelton didn't have control of the snap, and then he just panicked and tried to throw the ball to Curtis. That's why it popped up right there. But more importantly, Nick, I'm going to ask you, we saw this last year. Luke Mitchell has been doing his thing all night long. When's the last time he touched the football? You give it to your workhorse when you come down the stretch. Luke Mitchell is a little bit frustrated. They're down by 14 or down by 4 points, 14-10, 7 minutes left. Now, Nick, what do we talk about? The last 6 minutes, you got to finish the game. 4 minutes. Now, you can't finish the game because you only have 1 timeout left. So now you have to press a little bit if you get down by 1 or 2 scores. And so we're going to see how that comes out to affect us. Big play right there, a big return on the fumble. But more importantly, the fundamentals, the ball handling. Everybody thinks ball handling has to deal with basketball. It's not. It's a center quarterback exchange, quarterback to running backs or anybody else he hands the ball off to.
7:05 to go in the ball game. And Lincoln North Star, after a fumble recovery, nice job by Thatcher Shelton tracking the ball carrier down on the fumble recovery down at their own 46-yard line. Lincoln North Star takes over 1st and 10 with the Gators leading by 4. 2 wideouts near side, 1 to the far side. Now they bring in a 3rd wide receiver on the near side in the form of number 14, Braylon Kelly. Shotgun snap, Eli Schaefer, counter play as they give it to Anderson. Josh Anderson spins his way forward, barrels over the top of a defender for a gain of 4 up to the 50-yard line.
Yeah, Anderson is a little bit, light as far as it being in his build, but he runs with some speed and some power. Little man is a little bit of water bug there. Really good run there on 1st down because Southwest is trying to sell out to stop the run.
And if you're Lincoln North Star, you are in no hurry. Lincoln Southwest, just 1 timeout remaining, and it's 2nd down and 6 now from right at midfield, the 50-yard line. You think maybe 3 more first downs, 4 more first downs, and you can seal this one if you're the Gators in comeback fashion. 14-10 they lead. 2nd and 6. They hand it off. Anderson once again up the middle, and he's met by McLean Milius. We've called his name a plethora of times, as well as Micah Jessen tonight, and they cut the distance to gain in half. It's a 3-yard gain on 2nd and 6 to bring up 3rd down and 3.
You like this right here if you can get off the field right here if you're Southwest, the Silverhawks, to get the ball back to your offense. So really there's 2 things that are going on simultaneously here, Nick. Defensively, you're thinking about we want to get the ball back right now with the ball. We'll get the ball back at least 4 minutes left in the game. Offensively, composure. The last time you had the football, you had it down there essentially on the 1-inch line and end up turning the ball over.
It's 3rd and 3. The shotgun snap, quick pass out near side. It's a screen play. They haul it in, and getting across the 45-yard line, good for a 1st down, is the wide receiver. I couldn't get a number on him. I think that was Anderson, rather number 5. That is Tyrell Chapman.
Yeah.
And on the far side, they're going to maybe have to come measure this one. Lincoln North Star's side thought that it was a clear 1st down. The white hat official needs to go over and eyeball it. No. And I believe they're going to maybe measure this one depending on the spot. It is right at the 44-yard line, which is the line to gain.
From up here, it looked like it was a 1st down all the way, but either way, this right now, if I'm the defensive coaches for Southwest, I am talking to my players right now. This is almost like a free timeout. You can't huddle up, but you got to make sure that you're trying to communicate and try to adjust. And now if I'm Lincoln North Star and it happens to be 4th down, I am going for it.
They're going to measure this one, and it is a 1st down Lincoln North Star. By the hair on the chinny chin chin, it's a 1st down, and it is 1st and 10 now from the 44-yard line for Lincoln North Star. 5:31 to go in the ball game. The Gators lead at 14-10.
Yeah, here we go. It's going to be maybe 2 more 1st downs, Nick. And depending on how you get the 1st downs, are they quick or are they at the end of the 3 downs going into 4th down? This game could be over. 1 timeout, you're really hoping for a pass on 1st or 2nd down from this Lincoln North Star Gator offense.
Can Lincoln Southwest defense continue to bow up? Shotgun set. Running back off to the left side is Sievers. He gets the handoff and taken down in the backfield. Great job. Number 44, once again, Gavin Rathbun has made his name known. He takes him down for a loss of 7 all the way back at the 49-yard line of Lincoln North Star.
That's exactly what the Southwest Silverhawks wanted, right? They want you to run a counter play. There's not one counter play that North Stars ran tonight that's actually seemed to be positive yard-wise, or really work out in their favor. And so it didn't stop the clock, but it gave you some momentum, a little bit of jolt to energy. So right now, if you're able to get off the field or you stop them on 3rd down, and that's in 2 downs, you'll get the ball back. Maybe, Nick, as I'm looking at it right now, a little bit more than 3 minutes left. And so that means if you burn a timeout, that means you have to go 2-minute drill without any timeout.
1 second on the play clock. They barely get the snap off. Dump off screen. Here's Anderson. Watch out. He can fly as he accelerates on the left side. And inside the 40-yard line, a great gain on 2nd down and long. He gets it inside the 40 down to the 39-yard line, and now it's 3rd and medium coming up for Lincoln North Star. We are under 4 minutes to go in this ball game.
Yeah, that was a good play call there against a blitz. It was a good scouting there by North Star Gators offensive staff, knowing that Southwest might blitz there. Caught him in a blitz, good screen, good execution, 3rd and manageable, and the clock is running. There's no hurry right now. You could even if run the ball, let it go some more, make them burn the timeout, take the delay a game, and really slow this game down to a snail's pace.
2 seconds on the play clock as Schaefer takes the snap with one. Quick pass right side. It's incomplete. He had his receiver up the seam. It could have been a first down if it was hauled in, but instead James Thompson decides to throw the ball on 3rd and 5 when Southwest has just one timeout left on the plus side of the 50 and with the lead. And now the clock has stopped with 3:27 to play in the fourth quarter, and North Star is going to punt it back to the Silverhawks.
Yeah, that's right. You gave the Silverhawks essentially a free timeout right there. And so now we're going to see what they do here. I would probably advise the Silverhawks do not try to block this punt. Okay, you're in punt safe. You're alerting for the possibility of a fake punt, but you do not want to come anywhere close to the punter. You might get a delay of game, so that helps you out a little bit on the potential that you could return this punt. But right now, as I'm talking to my offensive players and my staff, it's composure, but I'm sending them in with 2 plays because we want to go into a 2-minute offense, a hurry-up offense, but we want to play fast but not in a hurry. And so we'll see what happens here for Southwest. They haven't been able to drive the ball, and score points, ever since they got that early Christmas gift. And so we're going to see if they can do it right now. They have the potential there with Thatcher Shelton and company, but they got to go out there and execute.
Lincoln North Star has to burn a timeout. They chose not to take the delay of game penalty. So instead, they're going to punt it away from the 39-yard line. They could have punted it away from the Silverhawks 44, which might have helped out the punter a little bit, allow them to kick it more full. But instead, they are going to are they keeping the offense out on the field?
No.
No, they are not.
No, Tyrell Chapman does a little bit of everything.
Yes.
He's a player coach. He's a corner. He's a receiver. He's a punter, kicker. No, I'm just playing. Nick,
He's been cramping also with that right leg.
Nick, what I'm saying here is if I'm
watch out, Tyrell Chapman with the football. He's going to keep it himself. It's a fake punt. Getting across the 30, inside the 25-yard line. The fake punt gamble pays off, and Lincoln North Star converts it on the 4th and 5. It's 1st and 10 inside the 30.
Yeah, a little bit. They took a page out of Archie Bradley there for the Huskers. Once you're rolling out there, you kind of lull the punt return unit to sleep, and Tyrell Chapman is probably the fastest guy out here on the field. He made a game-changing play. The game isn't over, Nick, but in my left ear, I'm starting to hear some singing. It's getting louder.
Do we get the first one of the year?
Not yet.
Not yet. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. As Lincoln North Star, with 3 on the play clock, comes out in shotgun set. They turn. They hand it off. J.C. Sievers with the ball carry, and he gets his way forward up for about 3 yards up to the 22.
Right now, you can't do what I call is clock watch on either side of the ball. There's still 3 minutes left. You still have one timeout left for each team. You got to play possession and you got to play situational football. So you got to make sure there's a time. This is something that you maybe rep, at least once every other practice or once every practice when you want the ball snapped based on the score of the game and the situation. And right now, you got to execute all these plays and all these situations that you hopefully practice up till the night.
2:42 to go in the fourth quarter. It's 2nd and 7. Shotgun set as Eli Schaefer has it with Sievers to his right. He turns, fakes the handoff as Schaefer's going to keep it himself. He breaks one tackle, and then there's another litany of Southwest defenders there to make the stop as Schaefer goes down. We have a banged-up Silverhawk back away from the play around the 16-yard line. And so while they tend to him with 2:24 to go in the fourth quarter, 14-10 is your score. We'll step aside, come back in 60 seconds here on 93.7 The Ticket.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Welcome back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Seacrest Field. Nick Sainert, Jay Foreman alongside. Thanks to Austin and Alex back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios, pushing all the buttons, making sure we stay connected as well. Stick around for post-game thoughts here from Seacrest. After this one, has a good finish in store. 14-10 is where we currently stand. 2:24 to play in the fourth quarter. Lincoln North Star leads by 4 over the Lincoln Southwest Silverhawks. Lincoln Southwest took a 10-7 lead into the halftime locker room. And then actually Southwest got the ball to start the third quarter. Haven't been able to punch it in, though. Have had multiple opportunities, including starting a drive at the Gators' 28-yard line earlier. And then they actually converted on a 41-yard field goal attempt, but a roughing the kicker gave them an automatic first down, 15-yard penalty. And then they stalled out again, attempted a 23-yard field goal attempt, and pulled it left. And so that was an empty possession, and that's one that you certainly look back on and say, momentum may have shifted sidelines at that moment, Jay.
Yeah, that was a big part of the game, but I think also the way that, like you mentioned, Southwest has started this second half when they had the momentum. Not only, let's go even back further, you had the momentum going into halftime, a empty possession, right? Even though you did get a pretty good pass there to Dawes to the flat, but then you came out of halftime, even though it was an extended halftime, and you really just puttered in the first two possessions.
Yeah,
and then which led to getting another gift, which you didn't, tend to wrap, and then you had a little bit of a hook there by your all-star kicker. Now you've been essentially, when you look at the score now, Nick, right? Mm-hmm. It's 14-10, but you got to think the Hawks have been stuck at 10 since the middle of the first quarter.
So 2 minutes to go with 10 seconds on the play clock. North Star in no rush. They motion Sievers from the right hip to the left hip of Schaefer. Schaefer in the shotgun, looking. Schaefer might have just gotten away with a false start. No, he did not. No, there's a false start. Quarterback, well, a delay of game, but they're going to call it a false start on Eli Schaefer, the quarterback. How about that? You don't see that very often.
Well, he was trying to get the center and the guard's attention to snap the ball. And that's what happens sometimes when you have a injury timeout, a little bit of delay in the game. You kind of lose focus a little bit. So, and what I always say is you don't want to clock watch, right? When you get the ball back with 3 minutes left, we have the game in the bag. Now you're 3rd and 15, and they still, or Southwest Silverhawks still have a timeout. So if you're not able to capitalize on this, they still can come down in a one-score game to win the game.
1:45 and counting. 3rd and 15. If Lincoln North Star is able to somehow get this first down, that will do it. Sievers motion from right to left. 2 wideouts each side, but would be shocked to see Lincoln North Star pass this football. We have a stoppage in play. And I believe North Star called the timeout here. As officials are going to talk things over. Just a random stoppage in play. So no timeout is called. I thought for a moment Southwest might have called that timeout, and I thought, oh no, revisionist history. But they might be meeting about the game clock. I'm not sure the clock should have been running after that penalty on Lincoln North Star, but it was after the false start penalty. So they're meeting at midfield. 1:33 as it stands right now. We'll see what the official ruling is here in just a moment. It looks like they're going to come over the mic. They're talking to each head coach. James Thompson on the North Star side and Grant Tranowitz on the Southwest sideline.
Yeah, this is the first game kinks that you got to get out as far as the crews getting back in the game action, the coaches getting back in the game action. Obviously, we've seen a plethora of players being affected by cramps as well, and so it's going to be interesting to see how much time is back to 152.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is where I was talking about, Nick, watching the clock. So if you're not able to get a first down here, it's plenty of time for the Southwest Silverhawks team to drive it down the field.
1:52 to go in the fourth. It's 14-10. Lincoln North Star with a 4-point advantage. 3rd and 15. The clock has stopped right now after that false start penalty. Snap back, looking to throw. Schaefer across the middle. It's out of reach. Falls to the turf. Incomplete. And Lincoln Southwest will now hold them to a field goal attempt from the 30-yard line. It would be a 47-yard field goal, which is a long field goal.
It's another shift. I feel the wins again. Why do you do this? Why? You have twice now you could have ran the ball.
Yeah.
Twice you've thrown it. Twice you are giving Southwest a little bit of life.
Especially on when you scored a touchdown last offensive possession on a simple swing pass.
Yeah.
Which is a high, low risk, potentially high reward type of play. Dump off screens have been something you've ran consistently. They're going to take a timeout with 1:48 to go in the ball game. Lincoln North Star leads at 14-10. Lincoln North Star is now going to be out of timeouts with 1:48 to play in the fourth. They do lead by 4, though. Lincoln Southwest is going to, at some point, get the ball back here. James Thompson wants to talk things over about what he wants to do. It'd be a 47-yard field goal attempt to put the Gators up by 7 if it's converted. If not, then the Hawks will have the football at the 30-yard line with
a minute
and a half at least.
A minute and 43 seconds if they miss the field goal?
If they miss the field goal,
minute and 43 seconds.
A timeout to work with.
That does not make you all feel warm and fuzzy right here, right? And really, I don't know if I would have called a timeout, considering you already had a delay as far as the clock, as if I was Coach Thompson. So right now, he's probably putting together a plan, and he's sending his offense back out there, right?
So it appears they remember this drive was continued thanks to a fake punt conversion by Tyrell Chapman. They're going to bring their offense back out on the field. 4th and 15. They must feel like they have a better chance of converting the 4th and 15 rather than converting the 47-yard field goal. Playing soft coverage defensively is Lincoln Southwest. Schaefer back to pass. He's going to take off, and he'll throw downfield. He has a receiver in the end zone. It is knocked away. Great recovery by the defensive back in coverage as Chapman was open in the end zone, and great job closing out by the defensive back and tipped it away. There is a penalty marker on the field with 1 minute and 40 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. We're waiting to see what this call is.
Yeah, I think he got past the line of scrimmage. Good job there by Schaefer. Really stepping up in the pocket. Great pass. Great defensive play there by the Lincoln Southwest defender. Really playing through the whistle. You talk about being competitive, Nick. You're talking about practice habits, wanting to win. Both these teams are rivalries. Both of them have respect but don't like each other. I like that play by number 10 against everything. Tyrell Chapman, even on a great pass there and a great heads-up play there by Eli Schaefer. Now what we got to do, once we get back to playing, once we start playing football, a minute and 40 seconds left, one timeout. Shelton Thatcher, do you want to be written in the Lincoln Southwest history books as the hero at Aaron Davis Field?
14-10, Lincoln North Star out in front by 4. 1 minute, 40 seconds to go. Thatcher Shelton with the Lincoln Southwest offense at his fingertips. 2 wideouts each side.
Who are you going to, Nick? I think I'm going to Luke Mitchell out of the backfield.
1 timeout to work with for Lincoln Southwest here in week 1 of the season. Back to patch. Shelton steps up. He's going to take off, run with it. He evades one tackler, tries to bounce it outside, and he'll be pushed out of bounds after he gets a gain of around 10 yards to the 40-yard line. The clock will stop since he was out of bounds with 1:32 showing.
Great play there by Shelton Thatcher. He had Luke Mitchell over there in the short flat that could have got out of bounds to the Southwest sidelines. Now you get maybe another 6, 7, 8 yards. You'll be able to take a shot. So now the play calling, when I talked about before, composure and send them in with 2 plays, you should have been having your play sheet and your play calls already played out to your young quarterback and your offensive skill people.
Thatcher Shelton, a 6'2", 180-pound sophomore. has it in shotgun. 3 wideouts far side. He takes the snap, rolls out to the right, being pressured off the backside. Has to get rid of it. He dumps it down low to Mitchell. Mitchell he drops it, but probably in hindsight might have been the better thing to do because he was going to be stopped for a loss on that one. Thatcher Shelton
probably held on to it a little bit too long. Mitchell was open by the time he threw it to him. The defense was running over there.
So 2nd down and 10, 1:26 to go in the fourth quarter. It's 14-10 Lincoln North Star, Lincoln Southwest with the football. Trailing by 4. They do have 1 timeout to work with. Lincoln North Star, 0 timeouts remaining. 2 wideouts each side. Running back to the left hip of Thatcher Shelton. He takes a snap looking right side. Out route to Alex Dawes. It's hauled in at the 45. He tiptoes along that sideline and is knocked out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Clock stops with 1:21. And that's valuable there, Jay, because now on 3rd and 4, you have 2 plays to get 4 yards.
Yeah, and especially if this one doesn't work out and say you get tackled at bounds, you have enough for a timeout. Also, that's a big boy throw there by Shelton Thatcher, right? From 1 hash all the way out to the numbers. I like that. Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. Lincoln Youth Sports has done a really good job. We've been on them for years.
Mm-hmm.
The quarterback play throughout the city of Lincoln is starting to get really, really good.
Shelton back to pass, pressure off the left side. He evades it, throws it up the middle. It's hauled in at the seam along the right side hashes. It's a 1st down. The clock will stop as they reset the football. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line, and they're going to say they need to spike the football as they will take the snap, and Thatcher Shelton will spike the football with 1:08 to play in the fourth quarter. Thatcher Shelton able to evade the pressure off the left side on consecutive plays. Great pocket awareness. Stepped up in the pocket, delivered the mail. A great job up the seam, and it's going to be 2nd and 10 from the 36.
He's inching closer and closer into the history books in this rivalry.
Thatcher Shelton in shotgun set, 2 wideouts each side. They're on the right hash mark, 36 yards away from finding the end zone. Lincoln Southwest trails by 4, dumps it off. Here's Luke Mitchell with space outside the hash marks, cuts back in, and now is taken down after a short gain of 4 yards up to the 32-yard line, and the clock is running 56 seconds and counting.
You got to run it.
And Grant Tranowitz is going to call his final timeout with 32 seconds to play. Or rather, at the 32-yard line with 54 seconds to play. It's 14-10 Lincoln North Star, Lincoln Southwest trying to take the lead back after they led at halftime 10-7. They allowed a touchdown here in the second half. That's been the only scoring of the 3rd and 4th quarter combined. Lincoln North Star leads it by 4 with less than a minute to go.
Yeah, it's interesting right there. I think part of them wanted to go for it, but then also part of him knew that he could probably get a better play on 3rd and 6. So right now, Nick, when you're over there in your huddle, both defensively, you're calling 2 plays. Offensively, you're calling 2+ plays.
Yeah.
And the reason why you do that is because now obviously everybody knows you don't have any timeouts. So now defensively, what I'm saying, if we tackle you in bounds, I'm getting up, not on purpose, but I'm going to get up a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Offensively, we have to get up to the line of scrimmage just in case we got to spike it. But you can't spike it after this one.
It's 3rd and 6 from the 32. 54 seconds to go. The snap back. Shelton looking, throws off his back foot. It's knocked away. Great job in coverage by number 17, Scott Hebel-Heinrich, and he forces the incompletion. It was intended for number 25, Kevin Richardson, and here's the ball game. 4th and 6 from the 32-yard line with 49 seconds to play in the fourth quarter.
Well, Straup is out the game. He's one of your best players. You'd like him to be in. So I'm thinking Dawes or Mitchell right now. It's got to be Dawes or Mitchell, and Mitchell or Dawes has a favorable matchup against a linebacker.
2 wideouts each side. Shelton back to pass, looking, 4th and 6, throws it downfield into double coverage. The receiver gets tripped, and they get a pass interference call on Lincoln North Star inside the 10-yard line. That's going to give the Silverhawks an automatic 1st down and somewhat of a pseudo timeout as the officials will talk things over. James Thompson is trying to plead his case that ball was uncatchable, but instead the penalty flag is sitting at the 7-yard line, and it's going to be 1st and 10, 15 yards up. That'll put the ball at the 17-yard line.
Not only uncatchable, but the receiver tripped over the defender's feet. Wow, that's a huge call. Now, it's 15 yards from there, so where it was at the 2-yard line.
17-yard line.
The 17-yard line. So now you got to talk about composure here. As you see here, the fans. Hey, you better get security.
It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. 43 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. That worked as a pseudo timeout as they respotted the ball. Lincoln Southwest now with 3 wideouts to the far side. They have not started the clock, and now they do. 43 seconds as they will blow it dead. A penalty marker on the play. It's going to be a false start called against Lincoln Southwest.
Right there, that if you can't communicate, the crowd's starting to crank up a little bit. And this is what Southwest has been fighting all game long. Remember, they were down on the 1-yard line, Nick. False start again. And then I think they turned the ball over on downs. Now they're here again. They were essentially got a Christmas gift wrapped in the way of pass interference. Now you get another false start. So now it's 1st and 15 at the 22. So if I'm defensively, I'm thinking I need to tackle you inbounds once, and you only get 2 more plays, including this one.
1st and 15 from the 22-yard line. Nobody has timeouts remaining. The snap back. Thatcher Shelton, the sophomore, back to pass, dumps it, and it's deflected at the line. Great job defensively by off the edge. Lincoln North Star with the pass deflection to bring up 2nd down as they try to get it to Luke Mitchell out in space near the far hash marks, and it wasn't going to go very far. Nice defensive play there by Marcus Wynn.
Yeah, if you're going to get it to Luke Mitchell out on the flats, it's got to be faster than that because the defense is dropping back. So as the defense is dropping back, you want Luke Mitchell attacking and then obviously trying to get on and out of bounds. Good job there by Marcus Wynn. If you can't get the sack, they always tell you get your hands up.
It is 2nd and 15 from the 22-yard line. Lincoln Southwest down by 4. 2 wideouts each side. Mitchell in the backfield. Shelton back to pass. Looking, throws it down the middle. It's tipped, almost intercepted as they threw it into triple coverage. Intended for number 12, Alex Dawes. As in coverage, it was Hebel Heinrich along with Kobe Allen. And I believe number 3, Josh Anderson, was coming in from the roaming in the back end, trying to get his mitts on it. It tips incomplete. And now 3rd and long with 32 seconds.
Now, defensively, you got to think they're going to try to get about 7-8 yards, and they're going to go something quick to the sidelines afterwards because they're going to want the clock to stop.
32 seconds to play. 3rd and 15 from the 22. Thatcher Shelton back to pass. Pressure up the middle. He evades it. The pass is deflected. It's incomplete. And that will bring up 4th down and 15 from the 22-yard line. Another pass deflection, this time by number 8, Isaac Rabago. The senior linebacker got his mitts on it, and it's going to bring up 4th and long from the 22-yard line with 26 seconds to play in the fourth quarter.
Right now, there's no timeouts, and so you just got to be able to coach from the sidelines. But your senior leadership, Marcus Wynn, Isaac Rabago, all those guys out there got to finish this game.
Here's something notable is that the quarterback, Thatcher Shelton, lost his helmet on that last play. So the backup is in. 2 wideouts each side on the play that will decide if this is the game. The snapback, the pass, he's stepping up, and he's sacked. Number 17, Gavin Johnson, is taken down in the backfield. And there is the game. Lincoln North Star is going to survive. Great pressure up the middle, this time from number 0, Marcus Wynn, as they brought pressure to the backup quarterback, number 17, Gavin Johnson. After Thatcher Shelton's helmet came off on the previous play, he had to exit the game. And with 20 seconds on the game clock, Lincoln North Star takes over on their own 21-yard line. And the 2 best words in all of football, Jay Foreman, coming out in victory formation.
Yeah, victory kneel, victory formation is one of the things you do at the end of every game or into every practice pregame. This is the best formation out there possible. This is not quite your normal victory formation, but they are going to get it done anyway. Great job there by North Star.
1st down, they kneel it, and that will do it. As the clock will expire, the North Star Gators are victorious 14-10 over Lincoln Southwest. We'll step aside, come back, wrap up with post-game thoughts here from Seacrest. North Star 1-0 after knocking off the Silverhawks. We'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Seacrest Field. Your final score here in this one, week 1 of the season. Lincoln North Star 14, Lincoln Southwest 10. As the Silverhawks held a 7-point advantage going into the locker room, but then unable to really take advantage of anything in that second half that was kind of handed their way. They were gifted it a couple of times, but unfortunately for the Silverhawks, could not make anything happen here in the late moments. There was drama. There was drama that was certainly there, but Lincoln North Star was able to bow up and stand strong, Jay Foreman, as they get the victory. Lincoln North Star 14-10.
Yeah, at the beginning of the game, they might have looked like they were dead in the water. They gave away a free 7 points. They didn't look like they were able to do anything consistently offensively, but then they put that one drive together, Nick, and held in there defensively. Numerous players cramping up, numerous star players cramping up, young players coming in making plays, defensive stops, turnovers on defense. A really good job there by both teams, but more importantly for the North Star Gators with the ability to pull through, as Coach Thompson is talking to his team about grit and fight and all the things that he talked about probably all offseason came true tonight against the Southwest Silverhawks.
14-10, once again, your final score in this one. Lincoln North Star will have Elkhorn South next Friday, a really talented Elkhorn South program there, while Lincoln Southwest, we will have their game next Friday right here at Seacrest Field. They will face Lincoln Southeast, a team that beat Grand Island yesterday 30-0, but the status of Caden Logan, one of their star players, is up in the air right now. It should be a good game. It should be competitive. It's going to be physical. Lincoln Southwest played pretty well. Yeah, they just didn't take advantage of some of the opportunities that they had.
I mentioned during the game, I felt like North Star had outplayed them even when they were losing, but that doesn't mean the Southwest played bad. I think Southwest has got to get some sort of offensive rhythm. I think you found a gem in Luke Mitchell.
Yeah.
I think you see it 1 and 5. I think Strout is over there. Those are your two bell cows offensively. I like your Thatcher Shelton, your quarterback. I like your tight end, and I really like your offensive line. So I think if you could kind of condense that playbook and then kind of feature your star players and complementary players with a little bit more efficiency, I think they'll be able to give Southeast a little bit more of a challenge than what it looks like right now.
Yeah, it should be a good one next week with Lincoln Southeast and Lincoln Southwest. You talk about a rivalry, two teams that have disdain for each other. There you have it, Lincoln Southeast and Lincoln Southwest. I was surprised, once again, not to see maybe Noah Curtis be as big of a factor as we expected coming in, but in case of that, it was a bright spot of Luke Mitchell, like you mentioned. And in a team like Lincoln Southwest, talked to Grant Tranowitz before the game, before the season as well. You heard that conversation before the game. He talked about having to replace your top 4 wide receivers statistically from 2024 season, a year where they went 3-6. You still got to replace a lot of production there. And I think they found something in the running game with Luke Mitchell.
Yeah.
Now you kind of take that, build on it, because Lincoln Southwest is not going to be able to win games scoring more than 30 points. That's not their forte. It's going to be these types of 17-14, 10-7 type of ball games that Grant Tranowitz is going to need to have his guys gut out.
Yeah, because I like their defense and the intensity, and I think they will get a game where they have 3 or 4 turnovers, or cause 3 or 4 turnovers. But I also think one of the guys they can feature on offense is Evan Robinson.
Yeah.
He's extremely athletic. He plays tight end, obviously a linebacker prowess. You match him with Luke Mitchell. You match him with a Noah Curtis. You match him with Straub. You match him with all those guys, along with a young emerging quarterback. I think you can score more than 17 points. But the way that they play right now is limiting them the ability to score. More importantly, before we get off here, Nick, the game changed on that last drive when Mitchell didn't touch the ball, and then they had the muff, like kind of quarterback or center quarterback exchange turnover, and they weren't ever seemed to being able to recover. But I think they found a pretty good running back in Luke Mitchell in his first time carrying the load.
If this could be an indication of what the season has in store, it's going to be a pretty fun high school football campaign here. We're glad you could join us wherever you may be tonight on your Friday evening from Seacrest Field. For Jay Foreman, Nick Sainer saying so long. Thanks to Austin Norman and Alex back in our 93.7 The Ticket Studios, pushing all the buttons for us. Your final score one last time here in week 1 from Seacrest. The Lincoln North Star Gators 14, Lincoln Southwest 10. We will have coverage of Lincoln Southwest and Lincoln Southeast next Friday night. Same time, same place, 7 p.m. kickoff, 6:45 pregame. Myself, Jay Foreman, on the call of Lincoln Southeast versus Lincoln Southwest. That'll do it for us. Make sure you stay tuned tomorrow for Ticket Weekend's action right here, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with Office